Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. It is Sunday, and it's time for a stream again. Let's catch up with chat. I think Pestilence got first today, so congratulations. Gemma's here as well, so is Captain Reed. Subscribed for 6 months, currently on a 5-month streak. Thank you so much for that, dude. He says good evening. Anonymous Bike is here as well. Thank you so much. Ergo KB as well. Densest Designs is here too. Lane 20, Fred Zelasaurus, James Work is here as well. Good evening, Jay. McLaren did McLaren poach Ferrari strategy team. We'll talk about the F1 in a minute. It was a pretty cool race today.
Incredible.
Kevin Babes is here as well. So is Ball Boy. Good evening. Won't be able to catch the next 2 streams, but getting on a bit tonight. Nice. Well, thank you very much for the 22 months of subs, Ball Boy. I thoroughly appreciate those. Anaki's here as well. It says hi, Jay in chat. I hope everyone is having a good weekend. JMS is here too. OGEM's here as well. So is Alvi. Good evening, Alvi. I hope you're doing well back in Italy, your homeland. OGEM subscribed for 4 months as well. Says oi oi. Russo's wasn't this last week. Oh yeah, I've turned that off. It was just something that was on whilst I was making a coffee. I've turned it off so it shouldn't pop back up again today. Void Media subscribed for 29 months. Dude, thank you so much for 29 months. That's a huge number of subs. Good evening, Jay in chat. Just BMT's here as well. So is Funky. Rockets is here as well. Angry Son says, hey all, well on time this week. Nice, man. Welcome. Evil Pot Noodles here too. So is Snicket. So is Poship. Super Hands is here as well. Mid-piece of the JO3 looking very hot in the background. Yeah, that is the JO3 just in the background, just over my shoulder here. So yeah. Void Manger, thank you so much for 24 months of subs. That's 2 years worth of subs. Hey from Germany, good to see you again. Your order is different today. Too much compression. Do you know, I haven't changed anything. Let's double check that it's picking up the right mic. No, the audio hasn't changed. Nothing's changed on the settings. It's picking up the right mic.
Tasty, tasty.
All of the other mics are turned off. There's no chance for any other mic to be picking it up. Shouldn't be anything different. Not changed any compression. Nothing like that. So, Storesness, thank you so much for the 39 months of subs. Many months.
Incredible.
With Art and the PT and the SPC rocket. Thank you so much, Storesness. I appreciate it. 39 months is huge. That's just crazy numbers of months. Audio sounds okay. Yeah, okay. Could be yourself, Void Man. Are you listening on a different monitor or new headphones or something like that? Okay, so thank you very much for all the welcomes to the stream. I appreciate all being here, guys. I've got a few things to talk about today. So I want to start with some PT news, but the ad break's going to start in a second. So good old Jeff Bezos is going to interrupt us in like a minute. So I won't get too much detail. But yeah, what about the F1? If you guys don't watch the F1 or you don't want any spoilers, mute now for about a minute or so.
Tasty.
Because today's race was pretty spicy. There was an incident between Max and Lewis, which harkened back to years and years before. And McLaren, whilst they got their strategy right, they could not communicate as a team today, which was pretty interesting. There was some very interesting radio messages going on between Max and GP, his race coordinator, and also between Lando Piastri and their race coordinators as well. Kind of crazy. Yeah, only McLaren could make a 1-2 painful where both drivers are unhappy. Dude, team orders, 10 laps to go. Lando should have just given up. He didn't need to prove anything. Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race too. Yeah, I saw that about 15 minutes ago, that Joe Biden had dropped out. I assume that's going to mean that Harris is going to step in, but I don't know. We'll have to see who happens. You're on my 71-inch TV with a Dolby 7.1 surround sound. Dude, no one wants to see me in that kind of resolution. That sounds like a horror movie. So yeah. JQ, thank you so much for the 32 months of subs, dude. It's kind of crazy how big some of these sub numbers are getting now. 30 months is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, did he endorse Kamala? Is that what he said? Yeah, interesting. I was talking with Ballboy and Haribo Egg during the race, and we said that Lando did the right thing the wrong way with the team orders. Yeah, like, it was a difficult one, right? It was a difficult one. Oh, someone snoozed the ads. Thank you, whichever one that was. Thank you. Thoughts on Perez's future. So I think Perez had actually a really good race today. He didn't help himself by crashing out in qualifying yesterday. So Yeah, my ultimate view is that I think they should give Sonoda a chance in the Red Bull Racing Seat. I know they're probably going to go for Ricardo, but I think they should give Sonoda a chance in the Red Bull seat. Like, I think that's what they should be doing. But yeah, we'll see. Understand Lando not wanting to give the place back, but had he decided to be a good sport 10 laps earlier, surely he could have tried to fight Oscar back first. Exactly, yeah, if he'd have given the position back, waited for... So there's a bit of interaction with team orders. Piastri was in front and Norris was behind, to give context. And usually whoever's in front gets the first opportunity to pit, so you'd think that would be Piastri. But they actually let Norris pit first, and at the particular track they were on, if the first to pit gets an advantage, if the car in front pits after the car behind, there's an advantage due to the time it takes to do pit stops and things like that, and the advantage new tyres give you. So if the person behind you pits 1 lap quicker than you or 1 lap earlier than you, you tend to lose that spot if they're within like a second or 2 seconds. So that was what happened. So they switched the drivers around through the pit stops effectively, and then they said to Lando, okay, you need to give the place back to Piastri, and he was like, no, and it took him 10 laps to do it. If he had just given it back straight away and then left it for a lap and then tried to attack his teammate, it'd have probably been fine. But yeah, kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. So yeah. Anyway, that was the Formula One. But I think Perez is going to be gone pretty soon. Like, I can't see him staying much longer. They should have given up the comms 15 messages previously. Yeah, the team just wanted to do the right thing for Piastri, but it just sours Piastri's first win. That's the downside. But Hamilton as well on the podium, which is great. Good to see for British drivers. Stumbled on the old Top Clack vids. Some good stuff there, dude. Top Clack, wow. Top Clack was like, for a long time, Top Clack was the biggest keyboard podcast stroke stream in the hobby. We used to get thousands and thousands of views, and no one else was really doing what we were doing at the time. So that was a great time in keyboard history for me, was Top Clack. Like that 2 or 3 year period was just phenomenal. And it was a lot of work, though. It was a lot of work. Yeah, it became like having almost like a part-time job alongside a full-time job, just because the sheer volume of group buys and things that were happening during 2019, 2020 was so insane that it would take Brian and I, Quakums and I, 4 or 5 days just to pull together a list of what we wanted to talk about. And then the streams had gone from being like 90 minutes to 2 hours long to like 4 hours long at time. We had some streams that were 4 hours long, just because there was so much stuff to talk through. And in the end, we both decided to take a break and take a couple of weeks off, and that became like a long-term hiatus. And sadly, we just never found the time to bring it back. But yeah, that was an interesting time, Top Clack. I do miss it sometimes. I do miss it. Yeah, I hear talk of Tsunoda getting a look in, as he's a Honda back driver than an RB family. That kind of makes sense, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Allow me to bring a little diversity. Trump 2024 LFGO. I'm not American, so I don't have a horse in the race. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens. JQ giggles at it. Seems like it'd be a 20-minute show now. Top Clack? No. Like, if we did Top Clack these days, like, there's so much going on in the keyboard hobby. Like, it's constant, just new stuff and new stuff and new stuff. Yeah, like, yeah. It might be back to kind of like an hour, 2 hour long show, but there is so much new stuff constantly coming in keyboard world. Just Keychron alone are releasing 2 keyboards a week at the minute or something, right? So, you'd have all of that to cover, and the Neo boards and the studio releases, and the kind of like other news in the hobby and stuff like that. Yeah, Back to the Future with Hall Effect. Yeah, bringing back the Hall Effect stuff. Let's dig out the most ancient but efficient typing technology we can from the 1970s and put it in modern keyboards in an MX style package. Hey, it's working. I think if we brought back Top Clack now, which we did briefly talk last year about bringing Top Clack back and seeing if we could kind of arrange something, because both Brian and I love to stream and we love to share some stuff with people. I just don't think that we'd have the time to bring it back. And Brian's been out of the hobby for quite a while, so yeah, it's an interesting one. So I think if we brought back Top Clack, it'd be an interesting time, but it'd probably just be 1 or 2 episodes just to talk about some specific things, maybe, rather than actually bring back the whole show. I'd love to actually do it, but like kind of bring it back like as a trio. I think it'd be really, really good fun to get someone like Alex in the mix as well. If I actually like if I could, like, I haven't spoken to Brian in a long time, and like we catch up every now and again on Discord, but not like face to face on like chat or anything. We've not had a voice conversation in a long time. And as much as I love him, one of the things that I would absolutely love to do is bring Top Clack back with someone like Black Simon and Alex Sotos, and you have kind of like the cool streamer, the edgy streamer, and the vendor, and you kind of get all 3 perspectives. That could be a really good show. So I don't know. Maybe that could happen at some point. We'd have to see. You're just thinking about group buys. Yeah, there's more to the hobby than group buys. We used to cover all sorts of stuff, not just group buys, but you know, kind of like news and kind of like direction and stuff like that as well. So that sounds super fun. We just never agree. The 3 of us would just never agree. That would be where the fun is. It'd be like the Top Gear equivalent of keyboard. The equivalent of Top Gear, but within the keyboard world, right? Need more DIY things happening again? Yeah, so my take on where the hobby's headed is it's going to start diversifying. And kind of what happened was the way the hobby started was all of these small pockets of people doing cool stuff, and they kind of came together in a few places. There was the Reddit, there was, you know, Geekhack, there was Authority, there was a couple of other places, you know, Korean forums and things like that. And pockets of people kind of came up with cool stuff, and it kind of kept building and building and building. And then it kind of like just switched almost overnight and became like an industry in like late 2020, when things from COVID, you know, started kicking through and starting to deliver and things like that. And it stopped being a hobby and a community, and it became an industry. And I think that what we've seen is with the decline of those forums and the uplift in Discord traffic, we're starting to see those kind of like segregations and clumps of people doing really cool things again. Like I quite often just stumble across things like I know this sounds daft, but I live and breathe keyboards. So if I'm not working, I'm looking at new stuff on Instagram. I'm trying to find, you know, new designers and just see cool stuff and cool innovation happen. I spend so much of my time doing that. It's kind of crazy. And not for any, you know, business purpose or anything else, but just because I'm interested and I really like to see those kind of things. And I like to see what people have been inspired by and maybe, you know, get some inspiration myself for future projects. So yeah, I think that we're starting to see a lot of those kind of fractured elements that kind of all came together, and there's, you know, fracturing out again into all of these kind of little pockets of creativity and industry. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out over the next few years. So yeah, not agreeing would be the best part, dude. Like Simon and I would fall out so much on the business side of stuff, and I can just imagine Alex and Simon not agreeing on what was good or bad in terms of like sets and stuff like that. Simon yelling about weeb sets and meme cuts and screwless bullshit. Maybe that would be cool in person at the next UK meetup. A lot of like have like a live Top Clack. Maybe I should have a chat with Brian, see if he'll let me buy the Top Clack brand back. See if I can buy the Top Clack brand off him. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, maybe we could do something like that. I'll reach out to the guys and see if they're interested. I got my keycaps I won a few weeks ago, and it was perfect for my board. I didn't know what to put, what caps to put on. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Lane. I'm glad you got them. Congratulations for winning a prize. We ship out a lot of prizes, which is good. So always happy to help people. I'm always a bit sad that Fig. Wait, Super Hands. I don't know what you're trying to say there. Discords are no one-to-one replacements for forums, but it's kind of happened that way. Yeah. So the reason for that is because people like instant gratification. This is kind of like the way the human mind works is we want instant gratification. Like we want people to see what we're talking about, and we want to kind of get that feedback straight away. This is why Facebook became popular and kind of replaced forums for a little bit, because it was people who were just online, whereas forums, it would kind of like you post and then you go back a couple of days later to check and see what happened. It wasn't, you know, like quick responses. And when that's why people like MSN all around that time as well, because it's quick responses but direct chats and private chats and all of this. And then kind of like as Discord kind of grew and it became this opportunity to share things in a live environment and talk things through in a live environment, it became an easier way to get that instant gratification and push forward your ideals, your objectives, and also learn from other people as well. So I can see why it's happened. It's just baked into kind of like who we are as humans, that's the kind of gratification that we want. Especially when you can't have these conversations necessarily in person, because the next nearest person who likes custom keyboards might be 50 miles away from you and you can't always be there with them. But yeah, it's an interesting way for it to happen. Definitely feel like getting into 40s, all the knowledge is bottled up in Discord and unsearchable. Yeah, so I think Discord actually kind of realized this, not just from keyboards, but kind of like from all of the different hobbies that are now on Discord, because there's hundreds of them. I mean, everyday carry ones, I mean, crypto coin ones, and not scam coins, but other interesting things, and keyboards as well. I think Discord tried to see that was a gap and bring back the whole forums thing. That was probably why they did that. But, no medium is perfect. And we may go back to a forum style, kind of...
Tasty.
kind of discourse in the future. I think one of the things that I really, really wish had taken off properly was Keep Talk. I think the way that website worked was really cool, really fresh, really innovative. And I just wish that, I think it was Norbauer and Man of Interest that came up with that. I wish that had been pushed more. I know it's still live and it still exists, but it's not used like it should be. And I'd kind of quite like to see it happen. But yeah, a lot of the old forums have died out. Geekhack, I've not really liked Geekhack since Corsair bought out Drop, because it was technically owned by Drop and now Corsair owned Drop, so I've not really trusted Geekhack since then. The Reddit is just Reddit and it can be so painful. Destority has its own challenges. I actually tried to buy Destority a couple of years back when it went up for sale, and my kind of like pitch to them was like, look, I will give you some cash now for it, but then I will also invest that same amount of cash every year without any advertising or anything else, just from prototypists' balance of cash. Give you some funding each year to try and improve the website, and kind of I don't think they particularly wanted that, because I wasn't offering enough money up front, I think. So yeah, Destority was a bit of a letdown in the end. Yeah. Oh, Superhands came out. I'm always a bit sad that a lot of information is buried in non-forum social things such as Discord and Facebook groups. Forums are the best. Yeah, I kind of like Discord, forums as a format. I think that's quite interesting. Screwless is bullshit. Depends on how it's done. So, no idea why my typing is suddenly awful. What board are you using, Superhands? Screwless cases are a great thing, easy to mod and open the case a million times. Depends on how it's done. I think there's elements of that I do like and elements I don't, depending on how it's done. But yeah, like what we used to call screwless, where you just couldn't physically see the screws. Not particularly a fan of that, but the whole kind of catch ball and like the magnets we use on the J series, like I'm a fan of those types of options. And of course we used a French cleat on the Nixie project, which I'll actually be finishing off this week. I'm going to do a stream midweek, actually. This is a good bit of news. I'm going to do a stream midweek where I'm finishing off the Nixie board, because the final part, the cables and the replacement top PCB and everything should be on the way. So when I go to Novel Keys, which is another bit of news, in 2 weeks' time, I should have like a full kit and caboodle Nixie working, and then it will be on my desk replacing, sadly, the TGR Koala. But yeah. If you're at the half for questions of delivery, it's a prize. Yeah. You can sometimes say that if we've shipped out a prize, right? JQ UK agreeing with me there. Screwless of balls and magnets equals good. Screwless of screws into the keycaps equals Y. Yeah, I agree. I genuinely find it super hard to keep up with Discord chats. It's just way too much to do unless I'm on the Discord 24/7. Yeah, I think that the trick is to only keep up with what you're physically there for in Discord. It's a little bit different when you own a Discord like I have the PT one, which you can join down here, by the way. Like I don't read everything, but I probably read 75% of the stuff that's posted in our Discord, just because sometimes I feel like I might need to reply to it, or there's an official response needed, even though people have tried to help. So yeah, it's a thing. But I don't keep up to that even in other servers where I'm moderator and things. I don't read even 80% sometimes. So yeah. Alvi, thank you so much for the 8 months. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong. 8 months of subs. Another Ferrari masterclass. Ferrari were a bit quiet today in the race. They were just nowhere. They weren't really around. Yeah, Ferrari need to get their act together before Lewis gets there. Or Lewis will have something to say. Is Geek Hack being information gatekept by Drop? Evil Pot Noodle, no, it's not. So Drop bought Geek Hack in 2020, I think. And then of course they were bought out by Corsair last year, was Drop. So technically Geek Hack is now owned by Corsair, which I don't know, I just find it a bit of a weird place to post from that perspective. So yeah, it gives me a fuzzy feeling when people complain how confusing Geek Hack is. Classic Zoomers, yeah. Forums are better for keeping and searching for information compared to Discord. Their authority is kind of dead now, sadly. Yeah. One thing I do miss from the old days is people doing build logs. So before I used to stream, I did a couple of build logs where it'd just be like, take a photograph of what you were building at like each step in time. Like, I'm now lubricating the switches, I'm now installing the stabilizers, I'm now soldering the switches, blah, blah, blah. And you'd have like 50 or 60 pictures. And yeah, I really miss build logs. I think they were quite good. Using the Delta 65, no idea why I'm suddenly useless on it. Oh, you're just nervous around me, dude. That's all it is. I know. Framed, hey, good to see you. Thank you so much. Rocky says, I don't mind screwless when the screws are hidden underneath the cube's feet. Friction fit feet, not like adhesive. Adhesive would stop. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's still not really screwless, right? It's just hidden screws. There's a difference between the two in my head. Did anyone build their Neo Ergo already? I got mine, but didn't really find the time yet. No, we're waiting for our Neo Ergos to arrive, so they should be here in our next shipment, I think, which is due to arrive. Let me double check. Let me load up Notion, because I should really talk about PT News. We've kind of got a little bit distracted. No, I don't want to update Notion now. Yeah, so what have we got on the way? We've got the Leviathan, we've got Matrix Lab, Navi, Xmas Atom, we've got the Allura 65, we've got Zoom Pads, QK65s, AM Compact Touch, Boog 75, Mono K System 1. What? Where is the Neo Ergo? I could have sworn we had that on the way already. I'll have to double check that. I'll check with Sharon tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure they're on the way. A lot of Corsair products have gone down in quality since I went public. Yeah, sometimes that happens. You know, got to cut costs and save money when you're a public company. Someone needs to archive content before servers are pulled. Whose responsibility is that? You know, it's difficult to say. So many old forums with wealths of knowledge I used to moderate, which have died. Always makes me sad. Yeah, the car forums from kind of like the late 90s, early 2000s. I missed a lot of that kind of stuff. Don't mind screwless, but I wish there was an option to lock the top plate in place. Get nervous taking the Neos into the office for that reason, because I have colleagues who would just straight up pick it up by the top. Yeah, I'll double check the status on the Neo Ergo, because I'm pretty sure we've had them. They might just be waiting in China ready for our next container. I'm not sure. Literally just dropped my Neo 80 and the top PCB and base all separated. Minor heart attack. Oh no, I hope it's alright. I hope the board's fine. Okay, right. Okay, so we talked a little bit about a few different things, but let me catch you up with PT News. So this next week, so at some point this week, our next shipment, which is on Notion, will arrive at port. We're expecting that to hit port probably around Thursday, Friday this week. Excuse me. So it's going to hit port around the 25th, 26th, 27th, somewhere around then. So realistically, we're expecting that shipment to arrive at the PT workshop somewhere between Thursday, the 1st of August and Thursday, the 8th of August. So that's when we were expecting our next shipment to arrive. Unfortunately, due to the piracy and the issues in the Red Sea, even though when we add time to it, sometimes it's not long enough for it to cover the actual sailing time. So the ship had to go around the bottom of Africa, all up the east coast, into the Mediterranean, all around the Med, and then up to the UK afterwards. And it's finally on its way to the UK, and it's going to dock in, the next week or so. So then it'll be about 10 days for us to get all of the stock through customs, clearances, pay all of the invoices and everything we need to do for that, have the funds clear, and then get the delivery taken care of. So that should all arrive somewhere around the 8th, I think, maybe just before that. Like kind of like 8's probably the latest we'll see arrive here in the workshop. So we're going to have to see how that pans out. It does coincide with my trip to Novel Keys. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to the Novel Keys meetup on the 3rd of August, which means I leave the UK on the 1st of August, arrive there on the 2nd, have like a day to recover, spend the day with Novel Keys, hopefully have a look around their workshop, just see how we do things differently, that kind of stuff. And then go to their meetup on the 3rd, show some PT stuff off. I'll have the JO1 final edition, I'll have the JO3, I'll have Midnight Rainbow there because we're bringing that back and I need to speak to Mike about it. I'll also have the Nixie prototype fully finished there as well because I'm going to stream the finalization of that this week. So yeah, we'll have a little stall. We'll have free stickers and giveaway items and stuff like that as well, which would be quite cool. So yeah, so the shipment might arrive before I get back from Novel Keys because I don't fly back until the Monday, which means I don't get here until the UK until Tuesday. It's like late Monday night when I fly back. I don't get back into the UK until Tuesday, and then I'm realistically not going to be in any fit state to work until probably Thursday, just because like jet lag and everything else. So yeah, it's like 5 days turnaround to go from the UK to the US and back is pretty tight. So yeah. That's the current plan. It should align, and then I think as soon as I'm back properly, that's when Mel and I will start to go through the next shipment because we'll both be here and able to work properly. So yeah, that's the current plan. In the midst of all that, we do have a couple of products that are going to go live and some stuff that's already shipping to us from some manufacturers as well. So there'll be kind of like a few different things going live in the next couple of weeks. I am trying to restock the cheesecake switches because you guys have bought us out of them. We had so many of those in stock and you guys just go nuts from because I mean they're probably hands down the best tactile on the market right now in my opinion for my tastes. So yeah, I was kind of excited for those to happen. So yeah, so we're gonna try and get some more in stock because you guys have bought them out. To which end, we should probably have a quick look at the website so I can talk about the latest news. The TKD Cycle 8 is in group buy right now. You can get this off the homepage. Just click on get yours here, and it's £155 including VAT for the base model. £155 for a TKL of this kind of level of quality. There are some different finishes that might add to the price that you can't see on here, but like for example if you pick one of the coated colours it adds £8.33 on. But there's all sorts of options. We worked it out last week. I think there's something like 260,000 options I think if we worked it out correctly, so definitely take a look at the Cycle 8. I've also changed the website. Those eagle-eyed of you might have noticed that the website itself has changed. We now have the latest stock drops, the latest 5 things to go into stock now show across the top of the website. So we dropped some black cherry pies into stock. These aren't the hand lubed ones, but if you lube these up, they'll be as good as the hand lubed ones yourself. Those are in stock. We've also got the caramel chocolate switches in stock now as well. These are actually really good. Like I've been toying with the idea of using some of the factory lubed ones in a build, and I am incredibly impressed by how they feel. They're really, really good. So check those out. We've also got Stabies in stock again. We haven't had these in stock for a little while, but these are back in stock now. We've got both the nylon and the polycarbonate versions. So do have a look at those. I don't think there's anyone in the UK that's got them cheaper than us for a full set. I'd be very surprised if they had. We also dropped SW Dolch in stock, and of course GMK CYL FTRO. We'll be having a look at this set later on because one of the keyboard chores I've got is to box my own version of this up so it can go into the collection. I've then also split the site up so you can see live group buys and pre-orders here, and then all of our in-stock range. And you'll see that the titles on these are worded slightly differently or formatted slightly differently. You've got these ones here where it says in-stock keyboards, and these ones here where the in-stock is a bit smaller for keycaps. That's because I'm doing a load of work in the back end at the moment to try and change how the site works and how we categorize things, because I want to change up the way we do the categories so you guys have a better option to search. This is just the first step, is putting the new engine in place that manages kind of like product categorization. Is step 1, and I've put it in place for some things but not all things, and what that does is it kind of replicates what we had before. So it's duplicating what we had before, but in a way that makes it scalable for us to be able to do new things. So step 1, step 2 will be to start to add the new things, which you'll see coming in the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah, we've added that as well, and then underneath there you can see all of the live group buys and then the live pre-orders as well. So just bear in mind as well that we do have some really, really cool group buys live at the minute. Carbon has just got back in stock. This is possibly one of my favorite sets of all time. It just looks so good, and it's back into group buy as well. You can see what the prices are going to be once it goes in stock. So if you do want to get a discount, now's the time to buy it, because you're saving 10% ish before we put it in stock in a few months' time once it's finished production. So yeah. So definitely take a look at that. And of course, if you're interested in the coffee, Jay's Roastery, we are selling coffee, only shipping in the UK at the moment, but we will be adding EU and worldwide shipping for the coffee very, very, very soon. I'm drinking the Classics blend today, which is this first option here. The details are on here. So this is a medium dark roast with smooth caramel and a dark cocoa chocolate flavors, which this is quite possibly one of my favorites, like especially when you get into like winter time and stuff. And the other exciting news is the whole part of the website that isn't built yet. There's kind of like a list of stuff down here at the bottom, a load of things that I actually want to do and change the website. A lot of those are now actually starting to happen. So the new artwork is underway. I need to catch up with Tim about the logo. Our packaging is changing for the coffee as well. We've got some new roasts coming soon. We're going to have a couple of single origin roasts that are just going to be there for a few days only. You'll only be able to buy them for like a week, maybe at most. Might even be just as short as a day, depending on how much we have. Fully details documenting how we're 100% sustainable on the coffee project, which we are at Prototypist as well. Prototypist is 100% sustainable these days. So yeah, we're going to start to go through those, and the book club as well will be starting up pretty soon, which will spill into the Discord a little bit. But yeah, we're going to start the book club as well. So if you're interested in coffee, jaysroaststory.co.uk. There it is, jaysroaststory.co.uk. Okay, so I think that's it pretty much for the PT news. Let's catch up with chat. Where did we get to? Okay. It's all working. Hooray for fluffy carpets. Oh, is that when you dropped it? Nice. Okay. I don't think I bring anything expensive into the office. So when I used to work in an office before I started PT, I used to take my custom keyboards in there, and I actually used to use an OTD on the desk in the office. No one knew what it was, so it was never at risk of being taken or stolen. I decided on a lemon Cycle 8 after last week's stream from my Metropolis set. I ordered it from the EU vendor. Just wanted to let you know since you wanted to see an order. No worries, dude. No worries, dude. You don't have to order from us if you're in a different part of the world. You know, order from whichever vendor's best for you. Love watching nerds in my team get excited by the sound and the caps. Yeah. Took in Super User on Friday, and in between the entire internet exploding, there were lots of very interesting nerds. Nice. I'm not going to North Korea. I'm going to Novel Keys. Novel Keys NK meetup in Morgantown in the US, which is in West Virginia. So I'm going to fly into Washington, D.C., and then I've got a 3.5 hour, 4 hour drive from there as well. Hebe's Keys, hey, thanks very much for being here. Good to see you guys. Best keyboard ambassador to North Korea. Guys, you know NK means Novel Keys. Any word on the heavier BCPs? No, not at the minute. So they were supposed to be within our package that we got for when we restocked the BCPs. We restocked the 47 gram ones. We have got 57 gram ones on order. I have chased up the manufacturer. They don't know where our order is. Basically, the ultimate response is that I want them to reship them. And if they can't do that, they're going to have to refund me. But we'll see where we get to. Caramel chocolate switches are great stock. Yeah, they're really good. They're really nice to use. Like the lubed ones particularly, if you don't want to lube, they're really solid. Really solid. Carbon Baby, my first GM key group buy. Yeah, nice. Congratulations, dude. Like, I don't think it was my first GMK group buy, but I do remember joining Carbon a long time ago. Your view and preference on the cream versus grey alphas on the Carbon release. So I already have the cream version from earlier rounds, so I'm going to be buying the grey set with the C database. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. Just wish it was R0 and R5 like the previous round. Yeah, so R0 and R5 adds significant cost to base kits. It would be significantly pricier to do the R0 and R5. They're a lot more to... They cost a lot more to produce with GMK. Like the wholesale cost is more, so therefore the retail price is more. Jay in North Korea confirmed? No. Just saw the building on Google. Yeah, like you can find the Novel Keys building on Google. You can find the PT building on Google. If you Google Prototypist keyboard. In fact, let's show you. Oh, wrong button. If we do this, if you go to maps, and if you search for Prototypist keyboards, oh, I just found it. Okay, I've got to save this one. If you search for Prototypist keyboards, you can find us here. This is Ruler Lane. This is the main road that runs just at the side of where we are, and you can see us here as well. And if you go down into Street View, and you drop it just here, this is the gates. We are here. Look, this is us. This is us. So I'm in this little window right here now. That window is just over there for me. And yeah, this is our unit. In fact, like you can just see the back of the Laurel in there. The blue truck is somewhere around there. You can see the Scooby here as well. This now belongs to Tim. I'm not sure if he's watching today, but the Scooby now belongs to Tim. I don't know what the other car is behind the Scooby. I can't tell. There's another car behind the Scooby. Looks like it was on Mel's day off, but yeah, I don't know what the other car behind the Scooby is. That might be when Leo was working here, actually. That might be Leo's Ford Escort. So this picture was probably taken around before October last year. Hold on, does it tell me? Oh, image captured July 2023. It doesn't give me a specific date, yeah. So it's about a year old, is that image. Yeah. But that's us, that's where we are. I don't know what that dot is above the logo there. Don't know what that is. Interesting, yeah. So that's what we are. We did used to be in this unit here. So this was the first place that we had, Unit 6. So that was where we were originally, and we kind of like moved across the yard, which is more onerous than it sounds. Like if you're moving like 10 miles, your business 10 miles, you can get vans in and trucks in, you can move everything in a truck. When you're only moving 300 yards, it seems silly to load up a truck to drive it 300 yards to unload it again. That just makes no sense. So you walk it across, you start handballing it across. And Leo, bless him, he filled up the Subaru about 100 times and drove it those 300 yards across the yard and kept taking stuff across. So it was quite interesting. So yeah, kind of crazy. That's a year ago. Yeah, so there we go. Oh, how did I manage that? There we go. Yeah, but that's where PT is, right next to the pub. The pub is closed at the moment, but there you go. I'm sure no one was actually interested in knowing where PT is or having a look at the site, but there it is. There it is. PT goes to PY? No. Jay, is GMK Midnight rerun again? Yeah, so we're talking MLs. I'm talking with Novel Keys when I'm over there in a couple of weeks' time about doing Midnight Rainbow again. I need to submit to GMK for some revised quotes actually, but yeah, we're going to bring it back. It's going to happen again soon. Yeah. But I want to do it in stock. When is MT New Dolch going in stock and what additional sets are being offered with it? So there is only a base kit, Super Hands. We're going to take a look at that base kit today because as part of the keyboard chores, I need to put it into my tubs because I've bought a set. The reason why it's not gone live yet is because there is no accent ISO enter, and none of the vendors are allowed to sell it until GMK has sent us all the fixed kit with the accent ISO enter. So that's in production right now, and it should probably hit us within the next week or so. And as soon as that arrives, we'll be putting that into stock. So yeah, it'll happen really soon. You wish Carbon was available in SA? Yeah, it was, Void Ninja. I've got an SA set of Carbon somewhere, so yeah. Seeing Midnight Rainbow mentioned again reminds me to pop mine on soon. Looks too good to be in the box. Yeah, nice. Nice. Colvrek? There is no Colvrek for MT New Dolch. No, sorry.
Tasty, tasty.
Crazy that Jay wrote Google into the imaginary workshop scheme. Yeah, like it's that rumor it's so bizarre to me. So if you guys don't know, well, there's two things here. So, here at PT, like I do a lot of Instagram stories, and it's basically just me walking around the workshop and giving you guys kind of like a behind the scenes update on what we're doing each day. It's kind of a case of here's in the morning, this is what we plan to do, and then usually in the afternoon it's kind of a case of did we actually achieve that or did we do something completely different? And it's just me walking around the workshop and pointing at stuff. So it's like from a first person point of view perspective, all you see is my hand do this all across the screen. The reason I started doing those was because when we first moved into our unit across the road from here, which was May 2020, 4 and a bit years ago now, a few people who didn't like me, which is fine, I don't expect everyone to like me, started up the rumor that the PT workshop wasn't real and that I was making it up, and that, you know, PT would never need a workshop. We couldn't possibly be big enough to require, and we absolutely did need it, and we had the space, and you know, we filled it pretty quickly. So I started doing the Instagram stories as kind of like a way of kind of like trying to disprove that rumor. And it kind of stuck for a long time. We'd have people come and say, look, whose workshop are you borrowing for this? Like, and they were genuinely serious. Whose workshop are you borrowing? How on earth is this all in the background? You know, are you green screening this? Is it someone else's thing? And like, I used to collect classic. I still do collect classic cards. I just don't buy them as much these days. When I used to have a proper day job before I started PT, and they were like, "Oh, those cards aren't yours. You've borrowed them off people," and it's like, well, why would I do that and then say they're mine? So they started off as, that's where the Instagram story started off like 4 years ago, and they've kind of become just like a cathartic part of my day now. They're almost like my to-do list, and I've been recently diagnosed with ADHD, and I think that they actually help with that because they allow me to articulate first thing in the morning what my goals for the day are, and it kind of gives me like almost like a list of things to do. So whoever started that rumor, I'm genuinely thankful to them, because without them, I wouldn't have started doing the Instagram stories, and I wouldn't have started to give myself that cathartic release. And yeah, ultimately, it has benefited me. So yeah, that's where that came from. Even Google is in on the green screen. Yeah, you can click see more dates in the top left. Wait, can you? Hold on. Let me get that back up. History. Google Maps. Can we get more dates? Hold on, let me build this, bring this back up. Wait, so top left. See more dates. Oh wow. So this is 2023. 2022. Look, see 2020. Oh yeah, so 2022. See here, look, this is when we were in the old unit. There you go. That's when we were in there. And it was a cleaning company in Unit 1 here. I can't go any further forward because it skips to the other one. But you can see we were in Unit 6, look, and it was TWC group in Unit 1. And if you go back to 2008, well, these units weren't even built then. So the units that we're in now were in this field, and they were actually built in October of 2019 was when they were completed. And we were the first tenant in Unit 6. When we moved into Unit 6, the only other two businesses that were here were Unit 1 and Unit 2. And this used to be a print company in Unit 2. And Unit 1 was a cleaning company. And Unit 7 had a fiber optic cable installers company there as well. They've moved around the corner recently though. So Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 5 were all empty, and because it was height of COVID, they couldn't get any other businesses to like take over these units. So it's kind of like all filled up since then. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride. Cool that we can see some more dates though. Shame I can't see like anything prior to 2022, because this feels like a long time ago. It's only 2 years ago though, I suppose. Yeah. Oh look, that was Trinity Print then, like you see, and then now it's Pennine. So yeah, you can see it changed. So yeah, so we just moved across the road effectively. Kind of crazy. Okay, let's catch up with chat again. Is GMK Midnight? Yeah, we talked about GMK Midnight Rainbow. Geeky Ed, hey man, good to see you. Do you still plan on doing Daylight Rainbow? Yeah, so I want to do Daylight Rainbow and Twilight Rainbow at some point. I think Midnight Rainbow will come back first, and as long as that does well, then I'll be able to convince the vendors to do an in-stock version of Daylight Rainbow too. If not, we'll do it through another manufacturer, I think, at some point. But I want to do it GMK if we can. Pestilence, thank you so much for the 2 months of subs. I appreciate that. He's basically a semi-pro barista. I wouldn't say that. He used to be a C programmer. That was a flat dad one. I've never been a programmer. I couldn't be. Does MT new Dolch base kit come with a 6U spacebar, so 3 spacebars on Geon stream? I'll open up the set later on and I'll show you. My first order was September 2021, so I had a few orders from the old unit. Yeah, so we moved into this unit in October, November, the 1st of December 2022. So we've been here to almost 2 years now in this workshop. Almost 2 years now, so yeah. Was Daylight Rainbow a thing before? No. So Daylight Rainbow is basically the multicolored legends on a light base kit. It's all been produced. I know what the colors we're going to do. We've had samples from GMK. It's just a case of we've never actually got around to producing it. Like whenever we've thought about it, like the market took a bit of a dip when I was actually just about to do it. I kind of want to do it in stock, not as group buy, so we can sell it as a pre-order and then in stock. I want it to be actually in production before we agree that, so I just need to get vendors on side so we're doing it right as well. So yeah, so there. Sunset Rainbow sounds better. Well, maybe we'll call it Sunset Twilight Rainbow and Sunset Rainbow. It's kind of like the same thing, but Midnight Rainbow first, and then we'll do Daylight, and then we'll figure out the rest from there. Would you ever do Midnight, Twilight, Daylight as PBT sets? So potentially, we have looked at this. I was going to do it with Work Studios a bit back. They did actually make one prototype, but never sent me it. And I don't know, like, I used to think you couldn't get the color quality in PBT, but GMK's MT New range has kind of disproven that a little bit. And I don't want to do it die sub, I want to do it double shot. So if we do it in PBT, it will be double shot PBT. And we'll see. That's all I can really say. Like, I did also speak to KBD fans about doing it in their PBT fans range, which is actually but on the ABS side of PBT fans, which I know sounds crazy, but it is. But we couldn't do it because of the way that they do their injection molding. So rather than they do like a whole alpha kit at once, so your alpha legends and base color have to be the same. You can't like split the colors correctly through PBT fans, or you couldn't at the time, just due to the way that their mold worked. It did the whole alpha kit and the whole mod kit at once. So we couldn't have like multicolored legends across the alphas with PBT fans, and that was just kind of like a way that they were producing stuff differently to GMK, because GMK do like individual keys, and they'll do like a 1,000 A's and 1,000 B's and 1,000 C's and so on and so forth. So yeah, that was why it never happened then. Midnight Rainbow MT New. So I maybe let's get Midnight Rainbow back in GMK first, and then if that's successful enough in GMK, then we will start to look at MT New. I would love to do it though. I'd love to do it. What is Twilight Rainbow? Daylight Rainbow is the rainbow caps on a light keycap. WS1, I think, is what we selected for it. I'd have to go back and double check. Yeah, WS1 is the white GMK color we selected for it. And then kind of like Twilight Rainbow was kind of like on like a light grey, so I can't remember the GMK color code for it. It was a stock color anyway, but there was like a kind of like a light grey that we could have done the whole Rainbow Legends on, and it would have been kind of like a bit of a muted, more kind of subtle version of Midnight Rainbow. So yeah. For Midnight Rainbow at GMK, do they do molds for all caps with the same legend color at once? Yeah, so what they'll do is they'll print all of the 1.25U control keys with the red legend, and they'll print all of those off, and then they will do all of the 1.5U control keys with the blue legend, and then print all of those off, and then when it's sorted, they'll put it in individually into the boxes. So yeah, so they do it. Yeah, they don't do like 10. So I think it depends on the mold. So there's no straightforward answer to this question. So depending on which machine they're producing which keycap at, because they have a whole range of machines, the GMK, I think it will either do 4 or 8 of the individual keycaps. So if they might do like 4 letter A's at the same time, or it might be 8 letter A's at the same time and 4 control keys, I can't remember. But one machine is only producing that one letter or that one legend for X number of times until it's completed. So yeah, but it's not one key at a time, it's like 4 keys at a time at minimum, I think. So yeah, but it really depends. Like I think 1Us do 4 keys at a time. Spacebars, there is a specific spacebar machine that does a 6.25U and a 7U spacebar at the same time, I believe. I'm trying to go from memory here. I can't remember if it did both at the same time or if it alternated between one and then the other. So because it has like a mold that spins to do the compression. I think when it does it in one direction it was a 7U, and it did it in the other direction it was 6.25U, or I might be wrong on that, I can't really remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure for the alpha keys it was just 4 keys at a time, and then they'd come off the machine. So yeah, we'll see. Right, okay, it's time to dig into some keyboard chores though. First up, I do need to box some keycap sets up, so we'll be taking a first look at some keycap sets, and unboxing something which I'm half tempted to sell before I unbox it. We'll see. I don't know. You guys can maybe advise me when we get to that in a second. And don't forget, guys, if we hit the subs goal, we'll give away some GMK sets today. Do some giveaways. Oh, we need to do some discounts as well. What should we do for a stream discount, guys? Is there anything on the store that you guys have been thinking about buying that you haven't bought that we could maybe give a discount on? I probably can't do it on anything that's in the latest stock drops, which is here. But if there's anything that's kind of like in stock that you guys would like to see a discount on, maybe we can arrange a discount for you. So let me know in chat if there's anything that you've had your eye on, anything that you've not bought because you'd like a discount on it, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can give you a discount on. Perhaps you want a Catgirl desk mat, or I don't know, Retro 100. You want a discount on that? Who knows? Let me know what you'd like to see a discount on, and we'll see if we can do it. Oh wow, the JO2s have all sold out. Kind of crazy that they've all sold out. Wow. So yeah, let me know in chat if there's anything you like a discount on. I'm pretty sure we've still got some raw JO2s actually. I'll double check the numbers on these because I'm pretty sure we've still got some of these raw JO2s ready for Cerakoting in the workshop. So I'll double check on that and I'll see if we can add some into stock. And if we do, we'll drop the price a bit more. If I have some more, we'll drop it down to like, I don't know, 300 quid or something, and we'll get them in stock for 300 quid. I'll have a look. Do that count tomorrow. So yeah. Oh yeah, we've still got the Olivia and Eva JO2s in stock. Yeah, 100% they're still in stock. Yeah. Do they even show on here? Yeah. The Eva themed editions. I mean, these are stunning. These came out so good. But there's not many of these left either. So if you do want one, pick one up. I know they're expensive, but maybe we should drop the price on. Should I put these on sale? Do you know what? I'm just going to put those on sale now. I'll do the same for the Olivia ones as well. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, these should now be on a discount. If I refresh the page, come on. So they were 574. Hold on. There you go. They were 574. They're now 360. Unless you go for the random one, which is 348. So you can save 12 quid if you don't. If you can't decide between the green or the purple, and you want me to decide for you or Mel to decide for you, you can save 12 quid. There you go. So we've dropped down those in massively in profit. Not in profit, in terms of price, sorry. So yeah, so you can pick one of those 360 quid or a random one for 348 quid. So there you go. Those are 360 quid now. I'll do the Olivia ones as well to the same price. Okay, so why are the Olivia ones not showing on here actually? Oh, they are. There they are. Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, so this should drop down to the same price as well in a second. Camel. There you go. They're now the same price. So there you go. You can save a huge amount on those. Right, let's see what else you guys want a discount on today. One is by derivative Alu plate, but the shipping cost fees to Germany were too high. So the shipping cost should be, bear in mind, Mo 1989, that it will include your taxes. So when you see the price here on the website, it will be ex VAT, and then it will include VAT at checkout for you guys. So the shipping to Germany should be like between 15 and 20 quid, depending on where you're at. So it's not expensive at all things considered. And it will include your taxes, so you won't pay any import fees on shipping to Germany. Like that'll be there. ASCII, you want to see a discount on ASCII? GMK ASCII? Okay, we can do that. Let's do a discount on GMK ASCII. I could probably do 15% off GMK ASCII. Was there someone would alter reader as well? I can do off that as well. Okay, let's do 15% off those two. GMK ASCII and alter reader. Okay, so now you can get a discount using the code I'm about to paste into chat. There you go. So you can get 15% off either of those using the code STREAMINGGMK. So, oh. GMK ASCII, you can get 50% off of those. Oh, that's Oblivion. Why have I clicked on Oblivion? Wait, what am I doing? GMK CYL ASCII in stock. There you go. So you can get 15% off of ASCII, or you can get 15. So if we add this to cart, base kit, add to cart, and then go to checkout. It should show the PT address here. Yeah, PT address. But you can add a discount. Where's the discount code? Oh, there it is. So you can use the code STREAMINGGMK, and that'll get you 15% off. Just like that, 15% off, and that'll work on ASCII as well. Sorry, Alter Reader as well. So ASCII and Alter Reader, you can get 15% off. There you go. I hope that helps, guys. I hope that helps. Are you going to make a post in Discord about the replacement Alu Kahaku plates form? No, Oxy. That's something that Elaine's doing from Singer. She's asked us not to get involved in that, so that's entirely up to people in the Singer Discord. Yeah. Yeah, just bear in mind that the on the JO2s that we have in stock for the Eva ones and the Olivia ones, because they've gone through Cerakote, the magnets on the top are not as strong as on the Blackout ones or the Raw ones. So just bear that in mind if you do buy one. So yeah. Never got into Eva, but they look great. Dude, they look so good in real life. Which green is the Eva JO2s coated in? I can't remember exactly, but they are coated, basically. They are coated, yeah. Alfie, you needed a second JO2, right? Pull the trigger, gentles all. Yeah, I mean, well done there. I was about to type, you suddenly being very scared, Jellymaster. Must resist. Well, I can hear the phone going off. Is that Jay's accountant? Dude. So my accountant came this past week, and I can't show you the printout, but he gave me this. So if I show you the word profit and loss, there you go. That is my profit and loss sheet for the past year. I can't share that just yet.
Incredible.
In a couple of weeks, it'll be on Company's House, so you'll be able to have a look. But I can't share it just yet. And we had some very difficult conversations about what happens on Sundays between 8 and 11 p.m. and why are certain products selling at certain prices during those times. So yeah, we had some difficult conversations. We also had a difficult conversation about pay. And this is an interesting fun fact. Because I'm the director, the CEO, the owner of Prototypist Keyboards, like if I ever want to take out a loan in Prototypist's name or anything like that, they want to see our profit and loss accounts and stuff like that, which is fine. One of the other things that they will always like to do is to understand how much the director's earning and how, the owner of the company's earning, and what they're taking away from the business. Now, I don't particularly want to take a loan out for Prototypist or anything like that. We don't need any finance, touch wood at the moment. That might change in the future, it might not, I don't know. But the interesting thing is that because it looks like I earn on paper next to nothing, it looks like I earn £11,993 a year on paper, just shy of 12 grand. They would probably be very concerned about that. So one of the things that my accountant has demanded is that I either take a dividend this year out of the business, or alternatively, I start paying myself a proper salary rather than just less than minimum wage. Because for the amount of hours that I work, if I was on minimum wage, I'd probably take home 30 grand a year. If I paid myself properly based on what I pay other staff, I would clear a lot more than that. So the fun fact from the accountant's visit was, one, trying to educate the accountant on why I give you guys discounts on the stream, and two, him educating me on the fact that to provide confidence in the company, I need to be paying myself more, because otherwise it looks, the first question we'll ask is, well, how on earth are you living, Jay? Because you don't earn enough money to live based on your lifestyle. And the real answer to that is that I live, majority of my life I spend living off my savings. So I used to have a really good job before I did PT. I earned a lot of money, and I used to be able to put money away in the bank. So something like, 75% of my actual money that I spend each year comes out of my savings account, goes into my current account, and I top up my salary, because I earn like, £900 a month before tax at PT, which is nothing. It's like, $1,100 a month or something. So because that's all I earn, the rest of my living, basically I top it up from my savings each month. So every month my savings is depleted, and I use that to live off of. My wife also earns, and of course she contributes and things like that as well. But so because of that, those are the two things that came out of this week. It was a really, really interesting conversation, actually. But in other news, PT is doing well. That's the main thing. PT is doing well. GMK Classica. I can probably add Classica to it as well. Yeah, I'll add Classica to it as well. Okay. Snicket, just for you, Classica is added as well. So it's Alter Reader, ASCII, and Classica. There you go. There you go. Alter Reader looking great. Was trying to grab R1 since got his hobby. It's great. It's a great set. Yeah. Thanks, Jay. You're welcome, guys. How can we get... Jay will drop random codes into chat messages. Is that the old offer? It was never cancelled. It shows every week. Yeah, so basically it's like what I'm doing now, where I'm dropping discount codes into chat super hands. It's saying that the discount each week will be me dropping codes into chat, because that's what I do. So I've just dropped the code into chat for money off. That's what I do each week. If you think the wording's wrong, drop me a DM with like some suggested wording. I'm more than happy to change it. Looking forward to the armchair accountants creating PT's finances in Discord. So this is an interesting one. Every year, when companies, so in the UK, if you're not from the UK, every company in the UK that is a limited company has to provide a series of financial accounts to the government every year to show whether they made a profit or a loss. And PT is no different. We have to do that as well. Now, in most of the countries, those are private and you can't really review them other than like the headline numbers in some places. In the UK, the whole document is visible. So the whole amount of information and detail that we share with the government, that is basically visible to anyone who wants to take a look at it. So it's fully open. People can go look at it. Now, when that happens every year, I get people send me freedom of information requests, which aren't really designed for public companies, for private companies for start off. I get people querying why we've made certain decisions. Why did you spend so much on rent, Jay? Well, that's what the rent was. Why did you spend so much on cars? And it's like, well, that's the cost of like hiring cars when we've been on trips. It's the cost of fuel, it's cost of maintenance for the company vehicle, it's the cost of servicing, which we have to do because we have to comply with different rules and regulations for business operated vehicles to privately operated vehicles, all of those kind of things. Why did you pay so much on staffing? It's like, well, I pay my staff well. So yeah, I get all of those questions, and they tend to happen as soon as the results go live, and people start getting really antsy about it, and it's always hilarious to watch, because people just make assumptions about those numbers without really understanding what they mean. And yeah, it's always an interesting couple of weeks. So yeah, when it goes live, I think this year what we'll do is I'll just share on stream what the numbers are. Like, I'll show you the website and I'll show you and I'll explain all the numbers, and then if anyone does ask, I can just go watch the stream because I talked about it. That'll be the easiest way to do it. Peaslake says, thank you for the JO2 discount. Been waiting on one for ages. Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much for buying one, by the way. Just bear in mind that the magnets on these aren't as strong, so don't pick it up. Just buy the top case because it's only designed to hold it on. It's not like the blackout ones where they were really good, because the Cerakoting process bakes the magnets and it means they lose a lot of power. So yeah. Can someone ban that person there, please? I don't need promotion of channel viewers and followers. So if one of the mods could just ban that person, that'd be really great. Thank you very much. Right, Real 50 BMG says, how is the C8 sale going for you guys? Lots of units left or not? Yeah, there's plenty of units left. I don't think we'll hit our cap of 200 units. But yeah, you can pretty much buy one. Yeah. I apologize for... Wait, what? I just apologize for typing again. I have no idea what's No worries. Always interesting to see my own company statements each year. Yeah, like it's one of those things. I didn't know what the numbers were going to be. Like I broadly have kind of like an idea of how PT is doing at any given time, and this year's numbers are kind of confounded a little bit. So the way that sales work here in the UK is from a VAT perspective, from a sales tax perspective. The tax is collected and classed at the time you sell the item. So the moment the customer pays and the moment you receive that money, that's when you're taxed on those, not when you ship the item. Now, from a corporation tax perspective, which is when you're taxed on your profit, it's based not on when you sell the item, but when you ship the item. So last year looks like we shipped a load of stuff and therefore had a load of completed sales last year, even though it was sales that we had 2 years before, because GMK last year caught up on their backlog. So it looks like we made something like, you know, instead of having like 60, 70,000 pounds in pure gross profit at the end, it looks somewhat inflated from that.
Tasty.
Basically because of how UK accounting works. Clackbait, thank you so much for raiding. I appreciate that, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We're just talking about prototypists' profits because our company numbers are going to be released in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, so from a tax perspective, VAT and sales tax is classified at time of sale, and you are charged on those then. From an actual corporation tax perspective and deciding your profit margin, your actual profit number, your literal profit, that's decided at the point at where you complete the transaction, i.e. you ship the product to the customer. So because we had 200, 300, 400 group buys that took 2 years to deliver, and 90% of those went out last year, we didn't pay the tax on the profit of those when we took the money in. We paid the tax on the profit of those at the end of that financial year, which means I owe it now. And our financial year runs November to November, and then you have 9 months from the end of November, which takes us up to the end of August, to complete your paperwork and to ship out all of those, and to pay your corporation tax bill, basically. So what's going to happen is I have to pay the corporation tax bill in like 5 weeks' time at the end of August. So yeah, that's how it works here from a taxation perspective on companies. So the good news is prototype was profitable. The bad news is I got a rather large tax bill. So, but that's fine. That's fine. Jelly was busy buying another JO2. Yeah, I'm glad we got that guy. We don't need people handling that kind of stuff into chat. So yeah. So thank you very much for Clackbait. I hope you were doing well. I hope you had a really good stream. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Banditry. Nightwolf, thank you so much for the for joining. I appreciate that. Feel bad for taking your advantage of your generosity, but picked up Olivia. Dude, no worries. Just bear in mind, as I say, that the Cerakoted versions, the top case magnets, are not as strong as the blackout or the raw ones, and that's just because the Cerakote process bakes the magnets, and they're not quite as grippy. It will hold on in during normal use, and it'll be completely fine during normal use. But like it's designed to be quick access anyway. But yeah, just bear that in mind that they're not as strong. I have tried to make them stronger by freezing them and using a magnet resetting tool, but unfortunately they're not as strong as the other ones. But yeah, bear that in mind. Yoyart was here as well. Says thanks again for saving GMK Oiler for US people, dude. Like it was the only thing I had to do. For those that don't know, with GMK Oiler, the original lead vendor was My Keyboard, and the US vendor was Captus Keys, and Captus was not a registered GMK vendor. So what happened here was that their order was kind of submitted as part of MyKeyboard.eu's order. So therefore, My Keyboard would pay the bill for both theirs and Captus's key sets, and then Captus would pay MyKeyboard.eu. Unfortunately, MyKeyboard.eu had all of their issues that they had, and they are now bankrupt and defunct. Oh, thank you so much for the gift sub. I thoroughly appreciate that. They're now bankrupt and defunct. And what happened was GMK reached out to me, and they were like, look, we're getting nowhere with my keyboard, and the project is kind of stalling because they're not helping us with renders, they're not helping us with sign-offs, they're not helping us with approvals, they're not putting us in touch with the designer. Can you help? So I stepped up, got the designer involved. We had the whole thing signed off within 6 weeks, and production started after 9 months of inaction by My Keyboard. The downside to this was that we had to accept My Keyboard's responsibilities, which was that we would pay for Captus keycap sets, and Captus would then have to pay us. Now, we checked with Captus at the time. We said, can you pay us if I pay it for you? 100% Jay, yes we can. Of course we can do that. Great. So I paid GMK. GMK produced the keycaps. month or two later, we received the keycaps. I reached out to Captus, was like, right, before I ship you these keycaps, you need to pay me now. You need to pay me back because I've paid your GMK bill. Yeah, we can't do that, Jay. We're going bankrupt. I'm really sorry about that. But here's all our customer data. You can now ship out those keycaps to the customers. So ultimately, at that point, I had a choice to make. Captus had taken payment from the customers. They had held the money. They had spent the money. I had paid for the caps from GMK out of my own personal pocket. And I didn't want to charge the customers again for them. Now, I had two choices at this point. I could have just added them to PT stock, sold them over time, and made people rebuy them and told them to go and get a refund from Captus keycaps, which would have meant chargebacks and whatever else. That felt pretty negative to me. So instead, I just gave the sets to the customers because it wasn't the customer's fault. It was Captus keycaps' fault. And that just felt like the path of least resistance. It cost us tens of thousands of dollars to do that, but it was the only thing we could do. Like, it cost us tens of thousands of dollars in just shipping to the US customers, like because we couldn't charge them for the shipping again either, because that wouldn't be fair. So we kind of like had to put our hands in our pockets and pay for that, and it was just absolutely ridiculous.
Tasty.
And this is not the only group buy this has happened to. Like, there has been quite a few group buys where this has happened, where we've had to do this now, and it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. You know, if I have to register a shipment from you to German customers, if you already pay the tax when the value is over 120 euros. Yeah, we so if you order from us, we pay the tax. You at most you might get a notice from GMK from German customs asking for proof of your purchase, but they won't bill you, they'll just bill us. So we are fully IOSS sorted, so we pay the import duties when it goes to you. It doesn't matter the value, it could be £1, it could be £10,000. Whatever you buy from us, we've already prepaid the tax at checkout for you. So, and we pay that before we ship the parcel to German customs or whichever EU country it is. So yeah. Sniper, thank you so much for the Prime sub, I appreciate that. Jay, how many group buys have you saved roughly now? I was just reading up on the Oceanographer drama for a while back after I spotted PT on the plate, etc. Lovely board, hefty. So Oceanographer. So actually, if you go way back, the first thing that PT did as a company was rescue the IDB60 group buy. That was a collaboration between Pingu in the EU and Canon Keys in the US, and I was good friends with Upas, well, I still am good friends with Upas, who runs Canon Keys, and we were talking. He was like, I can't get hold of Pingu. I have no idea who bought one from Pingu, who was serving EU and the rest of the world, and Canon Keys were just doing the US kind of bundle. So in the end, what ended up happening was I ended up reaching out to the manufacturer with help from Upas, and they shipped all of the product for IDB60 to me here in the UK, and then we shipped it for free out to the customers that had ordered it. Now, Pingu did kind of come back and help us with that fulfillment, but he didn't handle it himself, and he didn't have any money left over to pay us back for that as well. So the very first thing that PT did as an entity and used my personal capital for was shipping the IDB60. And the worst part about it is that the production was terrible. All of the boards were B stock, none of them were really A stock, and there was nothing I could do about that, even though we QC'd them. We just did the best we could, and then we tried to sell the extras to try and make some of the money back, and we made back about 20% of what the overall cost to us was, so we lost quite a lot of money on that. So we did that for the IDB60. We actually got a load of people complain about the IDB60 and request replacement parts from us, even though we tried to fix it and we'd done the best with a bad situation. So we did the IDB60. What else did we help with? Oceanographer was a big one. After we paid the US vendor decided to go bankrupt, so then we had to buy all of the UK and rest of the world boards, including all of the US boards, from the manufacturer to get them shipped to us and HeadG. We had to pay for production for every single PCB for the whole group buy, and we had to pay for production for every single plate for the whole group buy. We had to redesign the PCB from scratch for that because the files that Taylor at Turner's gave us were just crap and didn't work. So we ended up paying for that whole group buy despite only taking revenue for the UK customers, which is a real pain. And then of course, Captus keycaps with GMK Euler. There's been some other smaller ones. Those are the three big ones, but there's been some other smaller ones. Of course, all the Rama stuff. I can't talk about Rama stuff right now, but effectively any outstanding group buy order for Rama, we refunded about a month ago. because we're just not confident we're ever going to get the product from RamaWorks anymore. Now, I've paid Rama for all those products, which is tens of thousands of dollars. I'm probably never going to get them back, and I can't really tell you any more about that because of for legal reasons. But yeah, it's kind of like just yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, there was a lot of other stuff like with Mexico as well. So Mexico, we paid Mexico for the production of tons of desk mats for the GMK sets that they ran. So they were arranging production for the desk mats, and we'd pay them for them, and then they just went flat, disappeared. We'd paid them for so many desk mats, and in the end, we've managed with other vendors have the desk mats produced, which means we just had to pay for the desk mats again. In other cases, we've had to refund the customers, so we've lost the customer's refund and we've paid for the desk mats. So you kind of lose double in those situations because you're giving the customer money back and you've already given the money back. So you're paying out twice for these kind of things. So that happened a lot with that. My keyboard, they still owed me some money from the original JO2 run 4.5 years ago, which we'll never get back now. I actually got the opportunity to buy my own stock back, but it was too expensive because they wanted retail price for it, did the liquidators, which, yeah, I don't know what's happening with that now, but that was silly. Yeah, there's been a ton of things that have happened, and it's a frustrating time when it happens, I'll be honest. So yeah, I couldn't tell you how many group buys we've saved or been involved in the saving of, or where Alora 65, that's another one. Alora 6, that just dropped into my head. So this isn't one we've actually delivered yet, but Kiko from Kiko's lab has basically delayed Alora 65 for nearly 3 years, and we paid for all of the boards, 3 years ago. We don't have them yet. We paid Kiko for PCBs, plates, and everything else production-wise. That doesn't seem to be happening, so all of the vendors were having to club back together to buy all of our stuff again and produce it. We're having to re-engineer a lot of it, like re-engineer the PCB, re-engineer the plates, because the files don't exist. And I think Kiko has a lot of problems outside keyboards, which is understandable sometimes, but it makes it really difficult. So, yeah. Real 50 BMG says, so whatever you pay on the Proton website as an EU citizen is what the price is, no surprise cost. Yeah, so whatever it shows you at checkout, because it depends on whether you've got a VPN turned on or not. It might not show you your VAT, but when you get to the checkout, it will show you the cost of the item, the cost of shipping, and the cost of VAT. That VAT is based on your specific country in the EU. You pay it at checkout, and then we ship the item. You get it a couple of days later, no import fees. Sometimes they might ask you for an invoice for proof of import to make sure they're actually shipping the right thing to you, and to make sure that we've declared it correctly, but you won't ever get a bill from us when you import something into the EU. We will handle all of that. So yeah. Don't get how you can call yourself selfish after shouldering the bill like that for failed vendors, Jay. So that's a business decision. On a personal level, I'm very, very selfish. If you ask Mel or Sharon or anyone, they will tell you I'm a very, very selfish individual. So yeah, that's why I'd never be a great father. That's why I'm not having kids. So yeah. Kono Store is pulling a Mexico right now. They haven't paid GMK for GMK Camping R3, so we're all out. There's a bunch of other sets they took money for and haven't paid GMK for either. I don't know about that, Keeb Dweeb. I haven't worked with Kono much. We've done a few things with them, but we've never really been massively on each other's radar from a business perspective. What I can tell you is we shipped GMK Camping R3 a long time ago. We've had it in stock from a long time now. So I don't know what's happening there. I know there are a lot of vendors out there that haven't paid GMK, and that sometimes is not great. So yeah. PT, the legit good guys in the hobby, picking up the slack and cost left, right, and center. Do you know what the downside is, Ojklane? What's going to happen is there's going to be a vendor like PT or someone else who does something like this with the best will. They try and fix another failed vendor's group buys for whatever reason, or they're going to be impacted. Like we were impacted by Mexico going bankrupt. Like that massively impacted PT. Tens and tens of thousands of dollars of product we'll just never get. What's going to happen is there's going to be a vendor who has done everything right. They've made all the right decisions. They've done the right thing. They've paid the designers. They've paid GMK. They've paid their suppliers. And what's going to happen is other businesses failing around them is going to affect them so badly that they're going to fold and they're not going to be able to continue. And the really sad thing about that is the wider community as a whole is just going to lambast them for it. They're going to blame that company for poor decision making. They're going to blame that company for all the bad things, and it's not going to be their fault. They're going to have made every decision correctly, and all of the other failures are going to have impacted them, and that is really, really, really disappointing. So, yeah, that's something that's going to happen. Vote with your wallets on. MPKVR, redeemed coffee check. Yeah, so I've actually finished my coffee today, but I'll show you what I was drinking, because it's my own coffee. This is Jay's Roast Story. I'll drop the link into chat if anyone's interested. But this is my own coffee company. We make and roast 3 of our own coffees. We have the Classics blend, which is here. We have the Fiction blend, and we have the Sci-Fi blend. We're currently only shipping to the UK just for legal reasons on foodstuffs and things. But the opportunity to ship to EU and USA is coming, but those are the 3 coffees. I was drinking the Classics blend earlier on, which, as you can see here, is a medium dark roast with smooth caramel and dark cocoa tasting notes. There's also some brewing notes here on how to do it. I drank it as espresso in a latte, but of course there's different recipes for pour over and stuff like that as well. So yeah, so that's it. You can subscribe as well. We do take subscriptions for the coffee, and we have quite a few people subscribe, and you can buy it in 250 gram, 500 gram or 1 kilogram bags with pretty good pricing. Free shipping as well on the coffee as well, I might add. To the UK, there is no cost for shipping anywhere in the UK, so bear that in mind. Yeah, pretty proud of the coffee. It's really rather good, even if I do say so myself. Lots of hours working with the local roasting company to make that. So yeah. Trueblade says, yeah, I handed $600 to Brahma, which I'm not sure I'm going to see again. Yeah, so I can't talk about Brahma, because if I do, I will end up breaking some rules and some laws. The fact that you're still in business is simply amazing. Thank you for all you do for the community. Dude, no worries, man. Like, we do what we have to do. It's just one of those things. Cost of doing business seems high given the failures in the group buy system, but I've definitely seen plenty of other businesses with equal hassles. Stuff like legal costs, shrinkage, loads of unexpected side costs are just part of doing business at a certain scale. Yeah, so if anyone's thinking of becoming a vendor in the keyboard space, my advice would be to not. It's fraught with danger. It's fraught with paying for stuff out of pocket that you might never get or you might never sell. Legal costs are huge. Shrinkage is surprisingly high. A lot of manufacturers won't replace parts, so I don't want to drop anyone under the bus or sound like I'm being ungrateful with this kind of stuff, but like if we work with, let's for example say QWERTYKEYS or the Neo guys, and we sell like, I don't know, a QK65 or a Neo 80 or something like that, and we order all of the parts in and they send them to us. If there's a problem with those parts, they just swap it out instantly. Like, it doesn't take much for us to go back and forwards to get a replacement part from them. They'll say, have you checked this and that and the other with the customer? We got like, yeah, if it's a PCB that's broken, they'll send us a replacement, we'll send it on to the customer. Great, fantastic. Same with GMK. If someone orders a key set from us, we don't open that particular key set because we ship them sealed, and they get like on my personal black snail set, I got 2 O's instead of a Q and an O. We just reach out to GMK and was like, look, here's a photo evidence, can you send it as a replacement key? And then once a month we get like a bundle from GMK full of replacement keys for any orders we've done that for. When you're working with other vendors, so vendors similar to PT, they don't necessarily have that kind of replacement process in place. And when you buy the keyboards, and I don't want to give an example of this because it's unfair to the companies, I don't want to call anyone specific out for it because it's unfair, but let's say I don't know, let's say a US vendor, I'm not going to name one, but let's say we order as the same keyboards with a US vendor, we're the UK supplier, they're the lead vendor. We get the keyboards in. If there's something wrong with those and they've been produced incorrectly, we can't go to that lead vendor, even though they might have designed it and produced it and everything else, and say, we need a replacement part for this, because they'll just go, no, you should have ordered extras. So you then take on the risk of buying extras. So yeah, and it's like a lot of vendors will buy switches from AliExpress and then they'll get them, and quite a lot, there's vendors in the UK today selling cherry switches that are fakes. Now, I don't want to call out anyone because it's not fair, but there are vendors in the UK today that are selling cherry switches that are fake. So you know, like, you have to be really careful where you're sourcing stuff from. You have to be really careful where you're making purchases. You have to be really careful to make sure that the vendor has a legitimate contract with these companies to get replacement parts. Like, I don't know, like, if someone bought a lot of stuff off me when I had it on sale and then set up a vendor as a vendor to try and sell that, like, I don't know, let's say they bought 10 sets of GMK Classica today and then they split up a website tomorrow and they try and sell the Classica sets and they sell them at, you know, £5 cheaper than whatever I do without the discount on, because they got them for the discount. They're making a small profit, that's fine. But if there's any problem with those sets, they don't have a relationship with GMK to get replacement keys. And because they're selling them on, they don't have a warranty with me anymore because they've broken the terms of our contract, which is that you can't resell the items and then expect to have a warranty in place. So there's all sorts of stuff like that that consumers just aren't aware of that happen. So when you look at it from that perspective, these all come under costs of doing business. These are kind of like all stuff you have to factor into your pricing to make sure that you've got enough revenue to cover all these things. And most people kind of miss that. They don't understand it. They don't get why the prices are higher or whatever else. And all of these things happen. And then this is when vendors end up in trouble because all of a sudden they've sold 10 GMK sets. They can't get replacement keys because they bought it from another website when it was on sale and they haven't done anything, you know, to stock that correctly. They're not a legitimate reseller. They're not authorized. Or they bought switches from an AliExpress store, which is selling fakes. And you're like, you know, it gets really, really difficult. It's really, really difficult. So yeah, cost of business is massive, Cynic 12. The hassles are massively there as well. Legal costs and shrinkage is huge. Unless you've got a very deep pockets, unless you're willing to put 7 figures down, don't even try. Would be my, like, if I knew everything I knew now and I'd never started PT back in the day and it came to an opportunity to start it now, I wouldn't. If I knew everything I knew now, I wouldn't. So, yeah. Are you interested in running any sets with KKB? We run lots of sets with KKB, Meme God. We run a ton of sets with KKB. We actually do this thing for, I agreed with KKB a little while ago that if we give away a free UK ISO compatibility set, that PT will pay for production and we can get them at a cheaper price through KKB. So now if you join any group buy for KKB with PT or buy it in stock, you have the opportunity to pick up a free UK ISO kit with us as well, which is great. Are these unpaid sets a real problem for GMK or is it just a drop in the bucket for them? No, it's a problem. It's a problem. Not a huge problem, but yeah. It's been almost 90 minutes and we've not got any chores yet. Yeah, well, you guys keep distracting me and asking questions. Do I have a metal wallet? No, personally I don't. I'll show you my wallet. I've been tempted to buy one of the Hebe ones, but this is my wallet. It's green, it's mulberry. It's kind of like a British Racing green, so yeah. There's the mulberry logo. That's my wallet. I think that description is why Rue's platform analogy works well. You're not all really fully independent, you're interdependent and rely on one another in various ways. It's true, it's true. Vendors are massively reliant on each other. Ecosystem could be an alt word perhaps, yeah. Can you tell a story of a group buy that went better than expected? But yeah, I can. I can tell you a couple of stories of group buys that went better than expected. If you want an example, let me know, because I'm conscious that we've talked a lot. But there's been some really cool group buys that we've worked on that have gone significantly better than expected. So one, off the top of my head, would be the Psychotype Navi 60 group buy. That just went really smoothly. There's a couple of issues with like plates and stuff at the end, but production was smooth, production was easy, parts and delivery were easy. Working with a lot of the bigger manufacturers is usually quite good as well. So the JO2 one, whilst it was a little bit delayed and delays happen, we actually had a really good time working on the JO2s. So yeah, there's a ton of group buys that have gone really well and better than expected. We had some GMK ones as well. Like the first couple of MT new sets that turned around in like 12 weeks were fantastic. So yeah, one day Ram will ship my K keycaps, maybe. Could maybe name a defunct vendor. There's lots of defunct vendors. Fake cherries, yeah. There are fake cherry switches out there, yeah. If you go on AliExpress and it's anything cheaper than Yeah, if you go on AliExpress and you look at the really cheap cherry options, they're not all real. They're not all real. Nixie's Browns or JWK seals for the JO2. Dude, mix it up. Go Browns. Like, seriously, go Browns. Because the modern Browns, the MX2A Browns are pretty good, you know. They're pretty good. Do you think there should be more emphasis on using standard open source parts for building keyboards? I'm mainly thinking from the PCB perspective. Like 60% is broadly open source as it is. There's so many interchangeable 60% PCBs and TKLs as well. The problem is when you have open source with kind of like layouts and PCB sizings, is you then really start to prescribe what can be done in terms of the keyboard design. So yeah, did I add Classica to the code? Oh, sorry, I did, but I forgot to click on save. Right, Classica's now working. Sorry, I've done it. Yeah. So I think that there's an element of prescribing PCBs and standards will limit creativity in certain areas. So yeah, it's a dual-edged sword. I remember JO2 worrying about the R2, the JO2 selling well. Yeah, well, we've got the JO1, Rev 1, and the JO3 coming soon, and I'm worried that they're not even going to sell 50 units each. So yeah. So Artoga, if you're not busy with anything right now, maybe you could check the question I posted in the support channel of Discord. Nothing urgent though. Dude, I'm literally streaming right now. I'm busy. I'm streaming. So I'm not at work. It's a Sunday evening. We work Monday to Friday, apart from Thursdays. 8 till 5. That's the official support hours. If there's something in Discord, it's going to be tomorrow morning before I even see it now. Because like once I finished here, I've still got to drive home and go to sleep and get back to the workshop for 8 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, with the best will in the world, probably not going to see it. If you need support, the best thing to do is email us with your order number and some pictures of whatever issue you're experiencing. That's kind of like the best way to do it. So yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Right, okay, it's time to crack on with the actual stream though, and do some keyboard chores, as JQ pointed out a few minutes ago. Thank you, JQ, for keeping us on track. The first keyboard chore we have to do today, well, we stream live, Artoga, so yeah, like I can't handle customer support while I'm streaming. That's just not possible. I can't multitask at all. Anyway, so the first keyboard chore I have to do is we have to box up some of my personal keycap sets. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up MT New Dolch and show you guys MT New Dolch. Now this will be in stock in a couple of weeks. This is my personal set. We are waiting for GMK to replace to provide a missing key for this. So these were all produced with one key missing. It was a production issue. I'm not sure where the issue actually originated, but basically the key that's missing from these is the accent ISO enter. So we can't sell that until the fixed kits from GMK come in. So let's create our label. So this is GMK MT New Dolch. So I'm just creating a label here. Looming switches? No. Dolch is a lovely word to say. It is a lovely word to say. It comes from the old Dolch pack, which was kind of like a laptop style portable computer, which had a fully mechanical keyboard in. And that's where the colorway came from. And this is just the base kit, because there is only a base kit for this. So I'm literally just typing in base and printing the label off for that. MT New all the things. Yeah. Almost as good as Moist. I use MT New 7 hours a day and I like it. Yeah. You use the same labeler. It's a good labeler. I've had this label maker since prior to PT now. I've probably had it 7 or 8 years and it's always served me well. Okay, so there we go. That's our little tub labeled up. Come on, please, camera focus. There you go. That's our tub labeled up. You can't see them in the background now because it's got dark outside, or it's getting dark outside, but basically all my keycaps are there in the back corner. MT New is really rather good. I should have brought a knife up with me. I don't have one. So there we go. So this is MT New Dolch. The back of the packet's got the bread on. The front of the packet's got the green on. I'm going to zoom the camera in just a touch as well, just because I'm conscious that we're going to be doing a lot of close-up stuff here today. So let's get the camera a little bit more zoomed in, so I don't have to hold things up as high and we can keep them in the light. So here is MT New Dolch, and it's looking good. The other enter is the one that's missing. There is another tray underneath. More MT New stuff is coming. Oh, it's the non-accent ISO enter. So we've got the red, we've got the green. It's the grey ISO enter that's missing. There you go. So you have to use accents. But this is a lovely, lovely set. Look at that. Look at that. Dolch. What a great key. I want to like MT New, but I can't get on with Centered Legends. Same with SA. The only set I really like is a Philco one with a top left land Legends. Yeah, Signature Plastics used to make those for Philco. I think they've stopped now though. I don't believe they're still making them for Philco anymore. So, oh, we wanted to see what spacebar's it's got as well. So it's got a 7U, and is that a 6U? I can't tell. I think that's 7U and 6U. And 6.25U. Hold on, let's get all this. It's got the split space bars as well. This is a really, really, really competitive set. It's got all the split space bars too. But in terms of the full size space bars, we've got 6U, 6.25U, and 7U. So yeah, all three space bars are present. Very excellent before. Suppose they didn't do a Dolch Legend in ISO Enter. Yeah, I don't know what the missing ISO Enter key, which we're waiting on before we can sell these. It's in the original grey, but I don't know if it says Dolch on it or if it's just going to say Enter. I'm not sure. I know they are making them though. Yeah. The colourway I wish to see in MT New is 1976. I can't remember who the designer was for 1976 actually. I can't remember. But MT New 800 is probably the closest that we've come so far. But again, really good set. 6U in base. Yeah, this is actually a really, really fully fledged base. It's got split space bars. It's got accents up the wazoo. It's got all sorts of stuff in it. It's a really, really cool set. Let's see if I can actually find. I probably can't show you the website, but I'll see if I can find the render and show you the render. Of what's in the base kit. Okay, so this is the official base kit. Oh sugar! This is the official base kit. I should have just done this. There you go. So yeah, so what you can't see here. Oh, why has it done that? Can we? Why is it not showing you this properly? Let's do that. There you go. There you go. So you can see it's got all of the 60% keys here. It's got the 2 escapes. It's got the 2 enters there. Backspace. That's the key that's missing. That's the key that's missing. So it was just going to say enter. It's not going to say Dolch on it, sadly. Then of course you've got the space bar, the split space. Yeah, 6U space bar here. Just checking the legends. Extra B. It's a pretty good base kit. It doesn't have UK ISO, but it does have terminal ISO. So there you go. MT New numpads on the legends on the numpad section. Yeah, it looks really good. Really, really classy. That vertical enter text is just so nice. Yeah, really, really nice set. Really, really nice set. So yeah, there you go. I probably shouldn't have shown you that on stream, but it's fine. We live and we learn, right? Engine coder. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is still in the hobby. I've not seen him for a long time. Keyboard peeps are so picky. How has traction been for the new MT New profile versus CYL? Yeah, it's been pretty well received. There's lots of people that really like it. I think there's a lot of people that still haven't tried it, and that's part of the issue. But yeah, new profiles always take a long time to get going. I'm quite excited to see how the new PBS one that comes from Mateo. We're working on that with Canon keys. And we're going to have some like discounts on the first couple of sets that come out and stuff to try and get the profile out there. So PBS stands for Penguin Belly Slide, and you can read about it on Mateo's blog. Jay would never show something he wasn't meant to on stream. It's happened on more than one occasion. Yeah. So yeah, so that's MTNU Dolch done. Next up we have, this is one of my favourite sets of this year. This is GMK FTRO. And like this set just, I mean, this is like the add-on kit, so it's got 2 different alert rows. So the base is grey, and then you have like this kit that gives you 2 alert rows. Sadly, we've already sold out of this since I put it in stock. Everyone just went nuts for this one kit, but it gives you a yellow alert number row and then a beige alert number row. And some of the sub-legends on this are so cool. This is like such a cool set. A huge fan of this. So FTRO, I'll show you the base kit as well. MTNU and DCS are very different profiles. DCS is actually closer to GMK's CYL profile, Cherry profile. I had a lot of positive feedback when people tried MTNU on my 2 Keebs MK UK meetup. Lots of people who've never heard or seen it before. Also, you wouldn't have won a T if you didn't know about MTNU. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we had like a little thing. We had a macro pad at the PT stand, and if you could guess all 3 profiles, it was Cherry, DCS, and MTNU. If you could guess the name of all 3 profiles, you won a free PT t-shirt. So yeah. Don't forget as well, guys, if anyone asks a really good question today, we'll give you a free t-shirt as well, and we'll ship that anywhere in the world. So you can just tag me and go @JPrototypist, and then ask me a question. It doesn't have to be about keyboards, it can be about anything. Math, science, music, history, dance, I don't know. Whatever you want to know about. This box is also really cool as well. So it's kind of like all themed on, so Riley, who created this set, his kind of like theme was like, what if I was told from the future about a keycap set that was coming? And this is kind of like some of the cool stuff. Preparing transmission to target timeline, Earth, Common Era 2024, broadcasting. And there's just like some really cool like Easter eggs on here as well. So yeah, fragment alert, and it's just such a cool set. Yeah. So, yeah. Riley is Neflock, by the way. He's the designer. Works for Novel Keys. Took an absolute brain trust to pass that profile test. 3 of the most popular profiles in existence. Shouldn't be hard for keyboard nerds to design. So this is the set. This is the base set. As you can see, it's grey with yellow and white legends. It just looks so cool to my mind. And then here is the second set. So plenty of split space bars, 6U space bar as well. So there we go. In terms of ISO coverage, I think it has basic ISO. I'm trying to look now to try and figure out what level of ISO coverage. Yeah, it has basic ISO coverage. Terminal ISO only, I'm afraid, but it's still a cool set. So let's get a tub ready. Looks like stone. It's just a really nice set. So we need one that says base. And we've also, what's the name of the secondary kit for this? Was it called the alert kit or something? What was this called? Accents. Oh, I've done base twice. I didn't need to do that. Hold on. Let me grab some flush cutters. I'm going to keep a spare base sticker to one side because I'll need that in a minute. So then we've got GMK CYL FTRO. I'm not sure if the colours have been released yet, Felix. I'm not sure if I can say what colour the base kit is or not. MV Classic in PBS are looking pretty nice. Yeah, Penguin Belly Slide looks really good. We paid some invoices for some of the sets the other day, so we'll just wait for those to arrive soon. Which would be pretty cool. So for this one, we have the base and the accents. MTNU Dolch is an in-stock only set room. We just haven't put it in stock yet because we're waiting for the replacement keys to arrive, which is that non-accent ISO ends key. And we've also got the accents for this. Looking like a good set. yeah, this is a pretty cool set. It's one of my favourites of this year so far, I think. Love the yellow subs. Yeah, it's the yellow yellow numero legends that really set it off. So when you, if I show you the website, we put it in stock here. Yeah. So it's when you have the yellow yellow numero. Look how classy that looks. Look at that. Look at that. That yellow just looks so good. Just looks so good. And then you can, of course, you can do it with the white number as well. Get that accent color. Both look stunning. Both look stunning. So yeah, huge fan. Sadly, the accent kit has sold out. That sold out within like an hour of us putting it live. But the base kit is still really cool, and that's still in stock as well. So you can pick that up today. Don't forget, guys, as well, if you use the code STREAMINGGMK, you can get a 15% discount on Classica, Alter Reader, and ASCII, which are all in stock right now. So if you would like any of those 3 sets, you can get 15% off as long as you order before the stream ends. So take a look at that. It's pinned in the chat at the moment. Go grab this set. This set is so cool. It is so cool. It's one of those sets that this will be a classic, and I can almost guarantee that people are going to miss out and not buy it, and then it's going to go for stupid money in the aftermarket in the next 6 months' time. The Discord link is expired on the Twitch page. Oh, sorry, I will fix that after the stream. If you go to prototypist.net, you can join it from the top banner on the website. There's a banner page that says FAQs, Discord and updates. If you hover over that, there's a link to the Discord there as well. I will update that in due course after the stream. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you very much for letting me know. I don't know if any of the mods can update that live. Thank you, GBB. I appreciate you. So I'm hoping that we're going to build a keyboard that this is going to go on in the next week or so. I'm waiting for something to arrive that this set's going to have a permanent home on. So yes, I'm hoping it arrives like in the next week or so. Redhound, thank you for confirming the colours. I didn't realise, I didn't know if they were public or not, but yeah, the grey is based on an SP colour, as you rightly said. So thank you for confirming it. Okay, let's put the child kit in here as well. Mateo designed the empty new profile, and then other designers does the theme or colours, and then it's produced. Am I right? Yeah. Then Mateo gets to share his co-designer, so he owns the profile in effect with GMK. I'm not privy to what kind of arrangement GMK have, but I would suspect that yeah, he will get some sort of payout for every empty new set produced, or maybe a percentage of them. I don't know how it works, but yeah, in theory he owns the design, whereas the original Cherry profile is owned directly by GMK. He may be quite happy for people to use it for free. I don't know. But from a designer perspective, the designers will never need to worry about that. If they want to design an MT new, it'll all be baked into the wholesale price from GMK. So it will happen from that perspective, I suspect. Whatever that agreement looks like, it will happen. It'll be baked into the wholesale pricing. Yeah. I do really love these sub-legends. Oh, look how cool these sub-legends are. Look how cool they are. They just look so good. Super fun. Look at that. Super duper fun. Something about grey and yellow together just sets my heart alight. Such a good colour. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the key set keyboard chores done. There is one other thing that I do have, and I'm in the process of selling a lot of my personal collection. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this. But you tell me what you would do with this, guys. This is a sealed set of GMK Darling base kit. What would you guys do with it? Would you open it, or would you, like, this is still sealed? Still sealed, still factory sealed. Would you open it, or would you sell it? I don't know. I don't know. Send it to me. Holy shit. I just don't know. I don't know. It's something I've had for a long time. So yeah, I don't know. It's not like I've got a shortage of sets, Perlin, to be honest with you. Like, you've seen my personal collection. I have quite a few. I suspect it's because it's a weeb set, super hands, so there's a lot of aftermarket demand for it. Unless you're a Trigger super fan, I'd sell it sealed. Yeah.
Incredible.
Start an exhibition room at PT and keep it there with other cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, we have enough to do an exhibition. The problem is, Rue, that like, even if I sold 90% of my keyboard collection, I'd probably still have more than most other people in the UK hobby. So it's difficult, and I don't have space to. I don't have space to do like a museum type room here at PT. And this unit, this workshop that we have, is so much money a month. Like, it's so expensive. You know, like, I can't continue to pay for this place forever, so we need to figure it out. I did an actual LOL. Imagine if it's a wrong key inside. Well, I mean, it's significantly outside of warranty period now. Even if it did have a wrong key, even I couldn't get GMK to replace it after this amount of time. Quite a few. Close the understatement of the decade. Yeah. By some miracle, you wouldn't have a GMK Moondust in your personal collection. I think I do have Moondust. Yeah, hold on, let me double check. I don't have a list, but I'll know from looking at Moondust if I have it. GMK Moondust. Oh, no, I don't have Moondust. Yeah, no, I don't have Moondust. Apologies, I do not own that set. I have Moonlight and Stargaze, which is what I think is, and Galaxy, but yeah, I don't have Moondust. Weave sets will go wild, especially ones that ran during before COVID. Yeah. More than most of the UK keyboard hobby combined. No, there are some whales in the UK that are very, very quiet, and some of, I know at least a couple of them are watching now because I can see a list of who's watching. They don't post anywhere, and they don't get involved in the community. They're very much lurkers, and they're very lovely people. But there's a couple of people out there, maybe 10 in the UK, that would put my collection to shame. They would put my keyboard collection. They would make my keyboard collection look like a passing fad. They have significant chunks of keyboard history locked away. So yeah, I think auction it in that case. Maybe. Weeb sets go wild, especially the ones ran during before COVID. Yeah. Produced to be reused, so let it be free. Yeah. Next thing you know, Jay's going to whip out a sealed set of Perestroika. No, so I did have a set of Perestroika. I opened it and put it on a keyboard once on stream, and then it got taken off the board. Never typed it apart from a quick typing test, and I sold that about a year ago for £200. So yeah. There's a clone of Stargaze called Stargate. Wow. Out of curiosity, are you looking to sell some of your keycap collection generally, or just your boards? So a bit of both. I'll show you what we've got at the minute. So this is very much only available to Twitch subs at the moment, just because I haven't released it properly yet. But I do have kind of like a list of stuff I have for sale. Let me see if I can load it up. Where is it? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Why does it log me in under that one? So basically, I have a spreadsheet. Let me share that with you guys. So this is the spreadsheet. Now this is only visible to people in the SPC, so basically Twitch subs at the moment. But what this is a list of about 55-60 keyboards that I've listed so far that I have for sale. I have more to add to this list, but this is basically kind of like a list so far, and it has kind of like notes about them, list of extras, what condition they're in, links to all of the build streams if there is one, kind of what price that I'm looking to get and whether it's available or not. And the other thing as well, SPC members can fill out a form to kind of like have access to this. You can see some people have started to join, like, to have a look at this. So yeah, there's a channel set up for this. So there's like a form that you can fill out, and you can take a look at this, and you can kind of like buy these off me if you want. This is going to expand this list though. It's going to have more keyboards added to it. I've got maybe 10 keyboards at the side of me here that are going to get added to it, and then maybe another 70 or 80 vintage keyboards as well at some point in the near future. I probably will be adding around 150 GMK sets to it as well at some point. I have about 280 here, so I think I've got about 150 that I'll add to it in terms of GMK sets as well. So yeah, that's a thing, right? That's a thing. Yeah, so SPC, you guys can have a look at it. We will make it public in a few weeks, so I'm going to give the SPC our Twitch subs, and if you want to be a Twitch sub, you can subscribe and get access to this on the Discord. So it's going to be only for Twitch subs for the next week or two, and then after that I'll open it up to kind of like a wider range as well. So yeah. Do I own smart boards? I have a few, yeah. Do you have photos of the visual flaws of the B-stock boards? Yeah, if you fill out the form and say you're interested in something, we'll send you pictures before you can, just put in an offer based on what you want, what you think, and you can see what I've kind of roughly got into my head as a price that I'd be looking for. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to, just, it's kind of like, that's like a ballpark figure, but then we can send some pictures, and if you're happy with everything still, we can continue, and if not, then we won't. So yeah. So yeah, you see so many sets to go to the same address over the years. The fun thing with that is we start to recognize addresses. Like this, we ship out like 5,000, 6,000 packages a month, and it's, tens of thousands of orders that we've shipped. Like, it's just so many orders now. We do recognize names, and we do recognize addresses. Like, those come up quite often. Like, you'll be making a label for a package, and you'll see XYZ address, and you'll think, oh, that's so and so. So yeah, so we do start to recognize some. Yeah. Richard Branson, keyboard enthusiast confirmed. No. What is the board on the desk? That sign looks great. So this is my personal keyboard. This is a TGR Koala. It's pink on the bottom, hot pink, and cyan on top. It's got the Prototypist logo milled into it. That is not laser engraved or anything. That's actually CNC milled into it. This was made for me by TGR themselves. It's got a huge copper weight, and then you can see here is the TGR logo itself. So yes, this was made for me by TGR directly. TGR Koala with this cool side profile here. Oh, the camera's not liking the color. But there you go, you can see it's got a cool side profile. So yeah, that's my daily driver at the minute. But it will be replaced by the Nixie project in the next week or so. So yeah. One of one TGR Koala. Yeah, it's a one of one. Yeah, board should work. I don't know why that didn't work. 150 GMK sets. Dude, like, I've been collecting GMK since 2014, 2015. So yeah. With your collection being so large currently, do the boards in it start to not really feel special anymore? More like an inventory than a collection. So the reason why I'm selling off my collection isn't for money particularly. The reason why I'm selling them off is because they just sit around and do nothing. Like, they're just sat in boxes, and so many people could be getting use out of these. So there's such cool boards in that collection. Like, there's some really unique stuff. Like, I'm looking at the list now. The Canona 65, it's got those acute angles. Like, it's such a good looking thing. There's a Noxry 268 AG, like the Ariana Grande version. So it was made for me by Noxry. I kind of had some issues with Noxry, so that's why I'm selling it. But it's such a good board for the time and for the money. The TX60, those don't exist in that colorway. So the one I've got is kind of like a brushed copper effect. They don't exist in HHQ format. It's like one of three, and it's just sat in a box unused. It's not fair. Like, I still have a lot of keyboards in my personal collection, and these drawers here are kind of full of keyboards. So these drawers are really deep, and these keyboards go all the way back. So these, for size, if you get a sheet of A0 paper, that's the size of these drawers. And it's not just that drawer that's full. Like, this whole thing is just full of keyboards in my personal collection, like just completely and utterly full. And like, I'm not kidding, like it just keeps going on and on and on. So yeah, so like I have a lot of keyboards. I didn't know Noxry made keyboards. Sometimes he did. Sometimes he did. Why did no one tell me that there was a keyboard called Koala? There is. There's actually a couple. It kind of like goes back a long way, but that kind of curve on the side profile, that's called the Koala curve because the original one had it. So yeah. That pink is nice. Yeah, this keyboard's amazing. Like, it came out so good. Like, I asked them to anodize it in these two colors because that's what I wanted, and it came out great. Yeah, it came out great. That oceanographer is looking really tempting. Yeah, like there is some oceanographers in stock, but the one on the list of my stuff for sale, that's one of the original prototypes. The reason that's for sale is because that project just, it hurts me to think about because it cost me so much money. I just don't want the board around as a reminder anymore. Nufi says, in the film Inception, they have a totem to check they're not in another person's dream. What would you have or use as a totem? Yeah, so that's a really good question. I have a lot of fidget toys. I have a lot of different fidget toys. So I have like one of these on my desk. So this is one of the play trays from Justin from JJW. So I use this an awful lot. So it sits just here on my little stand. So I use that a lot. But I also have things like Rubik's cubes I play around with a lot as well, and decks of cards shuffling and stuff like. So there's so many different things. I'm not sure I could pick one.
Incredible.
But it might be like a little clicker of a switch or something with a keycap on, maybe. I don't know. Love that storage. Thank you. Yeah, like those drawers were so expensive. It was so expensive. I had them custom made. I need to put the soft close mechanisms on them, but they're from a company called Bisley. They're very expensive. Did I see the legendary W1 with all those 2x2 re-legendables in that drawer? Yeah, it's in one of the drawers, yeah. Maybe you could get some keep cabinets to display some of the boards. We did used to have a load on display. If you watch some of the older streams, all the background here was on display, but they just got dusty and they were just difficult to keep clean and they weren't getting used, and that's kind of why I want to kind of like sell these keyboards on, because I just want them to go to someone who's going to use them. Like you know, like I need to get some money back for them because I've spent probably, you know, 50,000-60,000 pounds on keyboards of my own personal money in the years, maybe more. I've never like calculated it, but so I need to get some money back for them. Otherwise, I just want them to go to good homes. And I have given a lot of keyboards away over the years, but I just want them to be used. I don't want them to sit here and not get used. There was a time where, you know, a year ago, where they'd just get me depressed because I just look at them and I'd be like, oh, it's such a shame. It's such a shame. So that's why I'm actively doing something about it. Koala curve, that's awesome to know. Yeah, if you go on Geek Hacking and search koala, you'll figure it out. There's like a lot of history on there. Jay could use a ribbon cable. If it slots in first time, he's definitely dreaming. That's true, yeah, I'm terrible with them. Lifting that with one hand at the meetup was really hard. Yeah. Loving using a matrix I bought off Jay. Well, do you know what? I'm really glad you are using that. That was one I was tempted to keep because I have a lot of matrix boards. But I'm really glad that you're using it, Superhands. Like, just the fact that it's, you know, you're happy with it. I got some money back for it, and it's getting used is just really important to me. So that's kind of like why I'm selling them. So yeah. So one of the things to add to the sheet is the CMO as well. So I know you're joking, ProShip, a little bit, but if you guys haven't seen the CMO, I can show you this because it's right next to my desk right now. This is a keyboard that came out a little while back, and it's one of only a few keyboards that are made in a certain material called ALBC3, which is an aluminium bronze casting. Now I'm going to show you the material because it also comes with two trays. So this is aluminium bronze. It comes with, the CMO comes with this, which is kind of like a little pen tray, which is raw, and you can see all of the original machine marks on it as well. And it comes with all of the kind of like original stickers and feet and, you know, all of those kind of stuff. That's all part of it. So it's got all the original machining on there, and it's kind of like starting to tarnish in places, and it looks really cool. So it comes with that. It also comes with a smaller little screw tray as well. And these are chunky, like these are really hefty. like for the size of it, this is phenomenally heavy. So this is kind of like the little screw tray, again made in aluminium bronze casting. ALBC3, but I also have the keyboard that goes with them. These are heavier than a koala. These two little trays together are way more than that koala does. Like, that's how heavy they are. The keyboard itself, because it was so heavy, it came in its own flight case. So this is the literal case that this board came in. And this is the Founders Edition, so here you go. It's the Founders Edition Design House Com. This is number 13 of 20. I asked for 13 specifically because 13's lucky in tattoo culture. Go on camera, please. And I kind of like got a lot of tattoos, so go on camera, focus on my hand, focus. There we go, 13 of 20. So yeah, so this is the keyboard itself. Oh, freaking hell, I can't even lift, Jesus Christ. Like, you'll think I'm making this up because I'm struggling with the weight of it, and it looks like I'm acting. I promise you this is no act. This is really heavy. Oh, fuck. This is the Simo, built with lavenders. And it's kind of like, this is the only one that's done, oh, Jesus Christ, this is the only one that's done this way. This is kind of like machine cut on top. You can see the original machine marks. And then on the base, we have the weight. And the base was sandblasted and the weight was polished. Now, it's picked up a load of fingerprints from use over the years. This is so heavy. I can barely support this with one hand. This is so heavy. But you can see it's starting to patina really nicely in places. It's starting to go blue and bronzy, and it's starting to look really, really lovely, and as it was intended to be. My God, this is heavy. Do we know the weight? Hold on, I'm gonna... If that's less than 5 kilos, I'd be surprised. Let me go get some scales. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I have some scales here. Oh, Jesus. So, let me zoom in so you can see the scales nice and clear. So this is the scales. So for reference, let's put a normal, this is kind of like a normal screw tray, right? And that weighs 175 grams. 175 grams. This is just a screw tray made in ALBC3. And it's smaller than that one. And that one weighs 380 grams. That alone is nearly half a kilo. 380 grams. Look at the size. And that weighs 380 grams. 380 grams.
Incredible.
If we get the other tray out, this is kind of like the size of a pen rail, really, right? That is 786 grams. 786 grams. 786 grams. 85 grams. For just a pen tray. That is a serious chunk of metal. It is so heavy, it's unreal. It's seriously, it's unreal. Okay, so to give you some context, let's weigh another TKL. So before I weigh this one, let's weigh this one. Okay, so this is a heavy keyboard. This weighs 2.2 kilos, 2.3 kilos, 2,292 grams. So 2.3 kilos, right? That's what that one weighs, 2.3 kilos. It's a fully built TKL with a huge copper slab. That's got a massive slab of copper in the base, right? 2.3 kilos. This, the Simo TKL, this weighs what? It doesn't even tell you. It can't tell you because it breaks the scale. It breaks the scale. This is heavier than the T9, dude. It breaks the scale. Jay's acting, it's made of poly. Look, I'm not acting because it breaks the scale. The scale is just like... Should we try and figure out where the scale weigh limit is? Let's try pushing down. So that's 1 kilo. That's 2 kilo. 3, 4, 5. It's over 6 kilos. 6 kilos is about the limit of the scales. Doesn't say on here. Yeah, 6 kilos is the limit of the scale. So it's over 6 kilos. It's over 6 kilos because it just breaks the scale straight away. You put that on the scale and it can't keep up with it. It is so heavy. Like, it is ridiculous. This will be for sale. It will not be cheap. It's in full working order. It doesn't come with the keycaps, obviously. That needs to come off. It had some artisans on here at one point. It's over 6 kilos. ALBC 3 key, but 6.5 kg built. Yeah. For a TKL, yeah. Like, probably the lightest TKL I have is a titanium one, because titanium's lighter than aluminium. The heaviest one I've had previously is probably like the T9, something like that, which is probably about 4 kilos. The original JR1s were just shy of 4 kilos. This thing is ridiculous. In fact, the heaviest keyboard I've ever had isn't this at all, actually. The heaviest keyboard I ever had was a brass elephant. Let me see if I can find that on. So brass elephant. Let's go to YouTube. J brass elephant. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, yeah. So this is the heaviest keyboard I've ever done anything with. Right. And this was a solid brass elephant. So this is all brass, and we were having to keep it clean. I can't remember if we weighed this or not as well. This is quite possibly the heaviest keyboard that I've ever had to deal with. I think we got it out of the box early on. Let's see if we can find it. Maybe. Oh, here we go. Like this was ridiculously heavy. Look how young I look there as well. That's like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. But yeah, that thing was stupidly heavy. That's definitely the heaviest board I've ever built. So yeah, Brutal 60. Anyway, yeah, that's the heaviest board I've ever built. Because that was stupidly heavy. I think that was close to 15 kilos or something. Mel will need a forklift trained to ship that. Yeah, it's so heavy. If you keep that on the same desk mat for 2 days, you'll get indentations. Yeah, that's the reason why I didn't put feet on this when I built it. So the reason I'd never put the feet on this is because I didn't want the feet to be proud and kind of like indent on the desk or whatever I was using. Needs that copper key on it. Yeah. Can you weigh the rubber hose Jane if possible? I don't have that anymore. That's already gone back to it's already gone back to TGR. So yeah. You look the same, just long beard. Maybe. Can you show us how it sounds? Yeah, sure. Hold on, I'll pause the music. Like, this will not be cheap if I sell this. Like, this will be stupid money. This is made with lavenders. I can't remember if these are lubed or not. So there you go. It's a beast. It does sound good, but it's just like, I like a heavy keyboard, but this one it's just too heavy for me to keep on my desk. But it's beautiful. It's golden. It's kind of patinaed over time. You could use some brasso on it to kind of clean it up if anyone bought it and wanted to, because it is covered in like fingerprints and marks, and it does pick them up. But it's designed to. It's that material that's supposed to. If I collect it and save shipping, 90% off sound fair. 90% off the shipping price? Sure, we can do a discount of 90% off shipping for collection. Yeah, we can do that. Has a very light metallic ring to it. I wonder why. So bronze does kind of have like a resonance to the material that we don't really see with other materials. The only other material you kind of see that one actually is titanium keyboards. And it's not like it's a bad pingy sound. It's just kind of like a harmonious resonant sound when using this keyboard. Like, I did use it for a little bit, but it's just too heavy for me to use it constantly. Like, some people like really, really heavy boards, and I get that. It's just too heavy for me because, like, you can't just shove this easily. Like, that's taking a lot of pressure. Like, you can see how much pressure's on my thumb there. It's just so heavy to move around. It's looking like my JO2. Yeah, I did tell you not to handle that thing when I gave it to you, dude. Don't handle it. Isn't bronze harder to CNC than brass? Yeah, so the manufacturer that Com used for this, they basically said they'd never work with the material again. They just declined to work with the material again. So, yeah, it's unlikely that there will ever be any more ALBC3 boards. So if you do ever buy this off me, that's kind of like the price of history. I think realistically, just based on the cost to me and everything else, it's probably going to be around £800 I'd be looking for it. That's kind of like the price point. If anyone is really considering it, I know Hodgie was, bearing in mind that it comes with the kind of like the trays and the screw tray and everything else, probably somewhere around £800, maybe a little bit more. I'll have to double check what I paid for it. But I might be able to grab that now, actually. Let's see what I paid for it. Oh man,
incredible.
What did we pay? It was $1,530. That's what it cost me. So £800 was like actually like way under. $1,530 plus. Hold on. I really shouldn't. I don't know why I show you guys my emails and stuff. I really shouldn't show you this. Hold on, I'm going to show you my email because this is just the easiest way to show you. So this is the original email, right? It was $1,530. I don't think I've got any extra plates for it, but it has got the brass plate with it, so that would have been an extra, you know, more than $30. It does have the pencil tray and it has the mini tray as well. So yeah, so what's that in total? So it's 1,530 plus 120 plus 150, and I'm not going to add the so that's 1,800. So USD to GBP, and this is based at today's rate, right? So it was like 1,300 quid. So realistically, I'm going to need like 1,200 quid for it to like even get close to breaking even. I don't know what the exchange rate was back in April 2021 was, so it's 3.5 years ago now. So yeah. It says 5.8 kilos here. I think it's heavier than that. I'd be surprised if it was under 6. So yeah, crazy times. Yeah, so like 1,200 quid is what I'm going to need for it realistically, which no one's probably going to buy it for that, to be fair, so it's probably never going to leave my collection, but yeah. You know, I do want to. There you go. Cheap 800. Like, I can't do it for 800. Like, I thought I'd paid less for it than I did, so yeah. Feel free to ask your questions, Ice the Cat. Feels fine. Sucky vendors. Oh, did you see the? I can't believe I like. This is why I shouldn't share stuff with you guys. So like, he's seen here the sucky vendors thing. Like, I have other things I probably can't show you and stuff like that. Like, there's emails in these I just definitely can't show you. Sucky vendors is one of them. Yeah, like that. I really shouldn't share this stuff. Don't forget the import tax too. Yeah, I'm not going to charge. Like, there would have been 20% VAT here in the UK. I'm not going to charge whoever buys it that, because that would not be fair. Is there space in the case to add more weight? Yeah, so there's actually gaps on the side where you could theoretically add more weight if you wanted to. It's kind of got some really complex machining here on the side. This is like a deep slot, and it's got, as you can see inside there is kind of like a design which would be really expensive to actually machine. So yeah, this whole thing was actually really expensive to machine and to make. So there's no wonder that's the price for it. Oh, Christ. Whew. Just so heavy. We do a bit of under declaring. 5.8 kilograms unbuilt. Maybe. I mean, of all the boards to keep, that is definitely one of them. Better than a customer's anomaly filler. Yeah, I don't have one of those. So, yeah, no customers annoy me. Don't put your back out. Dude, you could seriously do an injury. Like, it does come in that full flight case that I showed you earlier on. Like, it literally comes in like a full-on flight case because you couldn't box it properly if you shipped it any other way. Like, you put the flight case in the box and that's fine, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Of all the boards to keep, that's definitely one of them. Like, I've got so many boards in my collection that mean the world to me. This is an exercise in stupidity. That's what the CMO stands for. CMO means an exercise in stupidity. It doesn't really, I'm making that up, but yeah, it's a phenomenal piece of engineering and it's a cool design, but it is impossible for me to utilize it on a daily basis, and for that reason that's why it's going to end up on the list for sale. So yeah. Leaks. Luckily, there's nothing else that could leak on there. The only other thing that you could have seen in my emails that even would be like semi like a leak would be like the details for my Morgantown trip. So that's because I'm going over to Novel Keys in a couple of weeks' time, and this is kind of like all of the details of like my booking, my flights, and stuff like that. So, and where I'm staying and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the only other thing that you could have seen. But again, we don't need to show you that. We don't need that. So yeah, so the CMO will be on this list in a couple of days' time, probably. Bear in mind that it is only, there's loads of people viewing it now. This list is only for people in the SPC, so Twitch subs only at the moment. I will be releasing my personal collection for sale to the general public in a couple of weeks' time. So there will be general access to it at that point, but just because Twitch subs support me, I want to give back to them and give them an opportunity to pick up things a little bit earlier than others. So yeah. Are there any PCBs compatible with the IDB60? Just the one that's in it. It is built, is the IDB60. The Crazy Stupid edition is built. There is no other PCBs compatible with it. It needed the IDB60 PCB, but yeah, it does come built with one. Any new guesstimates on when the J01/3 group buys will be on? So I want to do them as a pre-order. I'm waiting for a final round of prototypes, which are in production right now. As soon as those arrive and I've approved them, then we'll start to get into production. And once they're in production, that's when we'll open up the pre-orders. It's probably going to be August, September time, probably closer to September now. And the aim is to ship them in the summer of next year. So yeah. Any upcoming board you're excited for? Yeah, the J01 and the J03. I showed the prototypes a couple of weeks ago, and Project Nixie as well. It's not Project Nixie isn't going to be like a public release board, but it's kind of like a prototype I've been working on with some really good friends of mine for a long time, and it's an idea I've had for more than 10 years, and I can't wait to actually have that fully working. And it will replace, sadly, the TGR on my desk. So yeah. Jay, as you seem to enjoy the craftsmanship of things, are you into pens, audio, watches? Yes. I have a lot of hobbies with craftsmanship involved. So I have a pen milled out of solid brass that I designed myself. This is a fountain pen. So yeah, that's milled from solid brass. I collect watches. You might see at the back I've got a ton of watches and the watch winder here. I probably have something like 40 watches, something like that. I collect playing cards. What you can't see behind me on this side is where the clock here is. Underneath it, there's maybe 30 or 40 decks of playing cards that's sat on. I collect a lot of things. So yeah. Have you started going through the office from submissions yet? So Gouty, Mel started going through those on Friday. I wasn't in on Friday because I was on a date day with my wife. I've worked so many hours over the past couple of months preparing for my accountant to visit last week that after he'd been, my wife and I decided a couple of weeks ago that I was going to take the Friday as a personal day, and we went out and had like a really nice lunch. We went to the cinema. We had just like a really nice date day on Friday, and Mel held down the fort here. Now, Mel did reach out to some people, I believe, about my personal collection, but I haven't caught up with her since. She's been having her own personal life over the weekend. I'll catch up with her on Monday. So yeah. The clock flips over as I did it. I have a thing for flip clocks and stuff like that. I have a thing for Nixie tubes. I have a thing for flip clocks. I have a thing for watches. I have a thing for just anything tactile. Espresso machines have been something that I've started collecting recently, which is a stupid thing to collect, and no one should ever do that. But yeah, like I have a lever pull proper Londinium espresso machine. So yeah, so I'll show you my espresso machine. Okay, so that's finding the wrong things. R34 is picking up the wrong things.
Tasty, tasty.
I should not have searched for R34. Jay, what are you doing? Yeah, so Londinium espresso. This is what I have. Let's go to the machines. Yeah, so I have the R34, but these are kind of like lever pull espresso machines, and they're just phenomenal. Yeah, I don't need support. Go away. Where is it? Where do you buy them? Where's the store? Okay, yeah. R24, sorry, not R34. This is what I have, this machine here. It's got a beautiful Wenge handle and knobs. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So yeah, that's what I use on a daily basis to make my coffee here at the workshop. And it's just a stunning, stunning thing. It's just beautiful. It's just absolutely stunning. So yeah. Tactile hobbies, 100%. Yeah, start collecting higher salary too. So Root, the funny conversation I had with my accountant on Wednesday, there was a couple of bits to it, but the funniest thing, he was like, Jay, how are you surviving? And basically he was like, how on earth are you surviving on, you know, £900 a month or whatever I pay myself? And the ultimate response and end of this was the fact that he didn't like the fact that I'm living off my savings. Apparently it doesn't give a good impression of the company if the CEO, direct owner of the company isn't paying themselves properly. And he has mandated that I do have to pay myself a proper salary. So I will be paying myself the equivalent of the same hourly rate that the lowest member of the team earns. So yeah, that's the plan. So yeah. Eliran, thank you so much for the 18-month streak. I thoroughly appreciate that. Thank you for so much. Don't forget Pogs. Yeah, magazines. Maybe soon. Yeah, Nixie tubes too. You'll love the Project Nixie. Then it's a keyboard with a Nixie clock built into it. It's downstairs. So I can't show you right now. Bit Freudian. LOL. Yeah, Rule 34. Yeah, like it wasn't my fault. That was not my fault. Question for you: if there were no limitations, what would you want your last meal to be and why? Please, for the love of God, don't say beans on toast. Like, if I was having to pick my last meal, I'd probably pick something like a really nice ribeye steak, you know, good garlic butter, a really nice peppercorn sauce with that, steak cut fries, onion rings, you know, some like fried greens, that kind of stuff. That's what I'd pick. Really nice sticky toffee pudding and custard for dessert. I'd probably pick that. 3 levers when you grow an extra arm. The 3 levers is for like working in like a proper espresso bar where you're making multiple coffees at the time. Wenger, you say? I guess I need that then. Yeah. Congratulations to your accountant. Yeah, like he was quite funny with my accountant. He's really nice. He's called Barry. And we went out for like a lunch as well. And like during the lunch, he's like, Jay, I know what you earn. I do your personal tax bracket. How are you living day to day? And I was like, I'm living off my savings. I have been for the past 5 years. And he's like, how long is that sustainable for? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you guys how long it's sustainable for because you'll know how much money I have then. But like, not forever is the answer. And he was like, you need to start thinking about your future. You need to start thinking about, because like we have like, obviously we have company pensions here. We have to by law provide a pension for all employees. I have pretty good pension from my previous job, so I've been using the money to pay into the staff's pension rather than my personal one. But he's mandated that I need to start a personal pension again, just from a financial perspective, personal financial perspective. He has forbid me from using my savings anymore, and he's mandated that I actually pay myself in line with the rest of the team. So that's the next plan. And an old fashioned to wash it down with. I love an old fashioned. Yeah. 3 bar max. What's 3 bar max? I'm not sure what you're about with 3 bar max. the bar rating on the Londinium is for the steam wand. The actual pressure for the espresso itself is variable. So because you pull the lever down, you prime the water into that, and then as you let the lever go back up, it pushes the plunge down, and the pressure profile over time varies. It's not a linear. It's not it's not like the same pressure all the way through the espresso shot. It forces the water through the puck depending on how much water the puck has already had and has accepted and is allowing it to flow through it. So the puck effectively decides the flow rate and the pressure that's required to create the flow rate. So yeah, it's a cool machine. It's a cool machine, and I love espresso. So yeah, the lever pull you have, I've been looking into entry level machines. They're also high, and see people mod them to lower the pressure. So it's variable on the Londinium. It's absolutely variable. It's based on how you prepare the puck. So yeah. So you can change the pre-infusion pressure. So as you prime the handle by dropping it down, it locks into place down. You can change the pressure that's applied to the puck at that point, and then as you release the handle, it kind of like just goes with its correct, with what's needed to push the water through. Yeah. I'm just trying to read if there's any details on there. No back flushing, no warming shots, no cooling shots. Yeah, you don't need to do anything like that. I don't think it tells us anything else on the page actually. No. Yeah, it's a cool machine though, and they're very expensive. But yeah, if I was going to buy a lever machine today, which I don't think I'd ever go to. I don't think I'd ever go to a pump driven machine because I like the way that a coffee feels as it comes off a lever espresso machine. If I was going to buy a lever machine today, I would buy an ACS Vostok. I wouldn't buy this particular one because this is a dual group one, but I'd buy the single ACS Vostok. So yeah, this one here, that is what I would buy if I was going to buy one today. I would buy an ACS Vostok. They are phenomenal machines. They're incredibly configurable. They look stunning. They provide a fantastic feedback. And where we roast our coffee locally, that's what they use. And the coffee that comes off those is just phenomenal. So if I was going to buy one today, it'd be an ACS Vostok. I cannot afford one because they're incredibly expensive. But yeah, I would 100% buy an ACS Vostok if I was going to buy a lever coffee machine today. I'd buy the single group one. Yeah, I'd probably buy it direct from ACS as well, rather than through a dealer, just because it's like a husband and wife team that make them, and they're really nice. But the machine, like, I'd probably go for this one, like in the stainless steel. It's such a nice machine, such a nice machine. Yeah. I mean, I think the single group ones come, like, you can get it at like £2,500, £3,000. It's a lot of money, but they are super duper cool, and yeah, they have a ton of configurability to them, and look how beautiful they are. It's just really cool. So yeah, I'd probably go for
incredible.
Pump machines are noisy also. Yeah, so the Londinium makes no noise apart from when you're steaming milk. So if you're just making an espresso shot, there's next to no noise. The grinder makes the noise and that's it. So yeah. What's the latest on the JO1 FE and the JO3 pre-order timelines? I'm waiting for the final prototypes, Superhands. So as soon as I get those, I'll be able to decide. But until I get them, I can't decide. I need to make sure the prototypes are fine. The prototypes we had at the meetup, not quite right. So yeah, we're actually changing manufacturers. I'm waiting for those to come in. But they should be here in the next few weeks. So I'd like to think late August, early September is probably the current timeline. So yeah, we'll see. Personally can't enjoy coffee, gives me anxiety, makes my stomach upset. That's fair. Coffee's not for everyone. You haven't heard my alarm. Have you got a Linnea Mini? Is that what it is, Superhands? I have considered one. Or keyboards. Wait, what? I'd have to sell a kidney for that. Yeah. Rue says Spider and Constance coming to PT. Do you consider them two different keyboards? If so, which one to choose? Dude, don't make me tell you what to pick. That's really difficult. I do think the Spider is a work of art. But the real answer is buy both, right? Just get both. Buy both. Just buy both. That's the easiest answer I can give you. JQ UK with the both as well. Yeah, both is the answer. The spider is a work of art though, and yeah, it's coming to PT relatively soon. I'm trying to get a prototype actually to build on stream. So if I can, I will. I can't guarantee that, but I think Mano's trying to help me get one. So yeah, it's a rotary pump, not a solenoid one. Yeah, I've used the Linnea Mini a few times. I did consider buying one actually for home, but again, they're really expensive, and I couldn't find a decent one, at like a second-hand price either. So yeah, okay, right. I think the final thing to do before we end the stream then is it's time to open some pogs and tick off. Oh, we need the spreadsheet open for the pog list. In fact, I better not show you that actually. Let me get this up. We need to open some pogs, right? Let me go to sheets and find the. Why does it keep going to the wrong account? Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Let me find the pog collection sheet. There it is. Okay. So if we do that and then that, you guys can now see the pog collection. So this is what we've been opening for the past few weeks. We do have a series of pogs, and that's these here. Now, if you weren't aware, pogs were kind of like milk caps with cool designs on them from the 1990s. And in 2005, the company actually released a new updated set.
Incredible.
And we've been opening these over the past couple of weeks. And we have the current collection of all of the unique ones here. We're trying to get all 60. There are some really, really cool designs on these, and I have made a frame that we're going to put these in soon as well. So these have got really cool designs on. There's also 10 different slammers that we need as well. And as you can see from the tracker here, we have quite a few of them already. So far we've opened 9 packets. We've got 24 packets remaining. And we have 53% of the pogs collected. So these are the slammers. We're going to open up 2 packs today, and we're going to see if we can get any new pogs in there. So I bought a full retail box of these probably a couple of years ago now. So let's open up 2 random packets. I've knocked all of the slammers over. Whoops. Don't stream your sheets, especially after this week. Yeah. This is the best part of the stream. So we're going to open up 2 packets and see what we get today. See if we get anything new, or if we get anything that we need to put in the swaps pile. So we don't need the card. Let's have a look. Is the slammer a new one? No, we already have this slammer. We already have that one there, so that's a duplicate. So we're going to put that into there. We're going to update the what number is that? Number 3. So we're going to update the slammers. Slammer number 3 we actually now have 2 of, so we're going to update that number there. Okay, let's take a look at the pogs themselves. The first one here is number 7, the Professor. Do we have number 7, the Professor? We do. So we're going to have got a duplicate, so we're going to change that to 2. That's going to go into the duplicate pile. Next up, we have Series 1, number 13, which we already have DJ. So we're now going to have another duplicate of that. So that's going to go into the pile there. Next one up, I think this is a new one. This is number 36, just as Pog on it. I think 36 is a new one. It is. 36 is called Drip. So we now have that one. And we have one of it. There we go. Let's pop that into the keep pile. Next up, we have Pog City. I know we already have Pog City. That's number 27. So we're going to have 3 of that now. Plenty of duplicates of that one. And then the final one from this packet is going to be the bunny. We already have this one as well, number 16. This is called Girlfriend. So we're going to change that to number 2. And that's going to go in the duplicates pile as well. Okay, so we only got 1 out of that whole packet that was actually of any use to us. This is where it starts to get really difficult to keep track of them as well. To actually make sure we're making progress each week. Let's open up the second packet for today. We don't need that. Okay, let's check the the slammer. I think this is a new one. I don't think we've had this one before. This is Pog 12 on it, but it's actually slammer number 10. This is a new one, so let's pop that into the spreadsheet. Oops. Knocking everything over. That is a new one. So we've almost got all the slammers. We only need 3 more slammers. I'm going to put the slammers back up here. Okay, let's start to look at the Pogs then. What do we have? So first up, we have one of these kind of spoke designs. This is number 41, which we already have. 5-star we already have one of, so that's going to change to 2, and that's going to go into our duplicates pile. Next up, we've got number 15. We don't have this one. This one's called Impala. So let's pop that into the sheet. So we now have Impala. That's going to go into the pile. Next up, we've got Crazy, which is Pog number 1. This is a new one as well. So this pack's doing a bit better. This pack's doing quite a bit better. Next up, we have number 14. We already have 14. That's called a Pimp. So that can go in the duplicates pile, and we add one to that. And then finally, we have World Domination, number 118. So this is another new one. This pack's been pretty good to us, actually. This has been really good to us because we've had quite a few new ones out of there. So what's that done for the statistics? That means we have 60% collected through 11 packets. We've got 22 packets left to go. We need 40%. We have 7 unique slammers, 4 duplicate slammers. We have 19 unique pogs, and 36 unique pogs and 19 duplicate pogs. We need 24 left. We've opened a third of the packets, and we've got 60% of the pogs collected. So there we go. Omni packs is like crack. Yeah, it's so hard to only do like 2 each week, but we out here, we get in there. So yeah, so we're getting close. We're making progress. Hopefully, we'll find all 60 throughout the whole sequence of packets. I'm hoping the rest of them are in here. We'll open some more next week on stream. Right, for everyone that's watched today, thank you so much. I think unless you guys have got any more questions, it is time for me to end the stream today. So please do let me know if you've got any final questions whilst we wind down the stream now. Plans for this week, Mel and I have got a lot of stuff to sell from in stock and ship out. Loads of orders over the weekend, and I think you guys have been quite busy today during the stream as well, making use of that 15% discount on some GMK sets. So we'll start shipping orders out tomorrow. We have got the remainder of the next shipment to arrive, which is expected to hit port next week, towards the back end of this week coming, sorry. And it'll arrive the week after that, so we'll be planning for that as well and making sure we're ready for it. And that's about it for the PTE news, I'm afraid. Not much else to share with you guys. You remember them at primary school? Yeah, I remember Pogs at primary school as well. Dr. Freeze? Yeah, it looks a little bit like Dr. Freeze. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Any incoming group buys? Mostly what's on the shipment, so everything that's on Notion that's detailed is in the next shipment. That's what's coming in. I think we might have something from GMK on the way, but I can't remember what it is. So yeah, we'll update Notion with everything on Monday as well and catch up. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you all. Don't forget, if we hit the subs goal next week, we will give away some free GMK playing marbles. And please do check out the website, check out the Discord, come and join us as well. Take a look on Instagram because I do share a ton of updates on there as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate every last one of you. Have a really, really good rest of your weekend. I'm going to go home now and get some sleep. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.